Welcome in, everybody. We are here. We have made it. It's been a giant gap, but we have a new member. Not a new member, but a lost member that's been found.
I am here.
This is the biggest moment of our lives, probably.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I'm excited about it. I've spent way too long just going over things over and over and over again. I've actually had so much time this summer that I just rewrote college football as a whole.
That was
reconferenced. I reconferenced everything. I even made new logos. I've had way too much time. So whenever this started falling into place, I was really excited because I got to use everything that I've researched the past 3 months into this.
It was all worth it. Finally, it's all going to be used for the greatest podcast you've ever seen. So we're going to go over some college football, season preview. We're going to have some bold predictions to start off. We're going to give our way too early probably playoff picks. They're going to change.
I hope mine change, dude.
Mine is, I hate mine.
Okay, I'm very confident in my takes, but I don't know how much they're going to change over the next few weeks.
Mine are going to change incredibly. They changed so much as I was doing
Yeah,
them.
I took out 4 or 5 teams and put in 4 or 5 different teams, and I was just oh my gosh.
Some of the teams I had in is so vile, and some of the teams I still have in are so bad. I don't know. This year just feels like I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like there's not that dominant team anymore, right?
Yeah, going into last season, I felt like everyone was kind of scared of Georgia. Georgia was that team. You're oh my gosh, Georgia. And then this season, you're kind of well. Yeah,
because Ohio State, they have a new quarterback, so they're not that scary anymore. Texas is Arch. Arch has to be incredible for them to be that team.
I've been hearing a lot of takes of Texas fans saying their season's a bust if they don't win the national championship.
Bro, no.
I'm that's insane.
You guys just got to this level. Be patient, bro.
I'm happy if we go 8-4,
yeah,
dude.
Bro.
What do you mean national championship?
Bro, you just got here. Calm down.
I mean, for Texas fans, I would be excited with another semi. Obviously, winning the national championship is the pinnacle. But if you make it to the semis again, that means that you would have to beat some really good teams on the way there. So that means that you're still a good team and you're right there. And if you make it that far this year and lose, imagine how much further you're going to go the next year because you're returning everybody.
Yeah, this year's almost like a reset for them in a way.
Yeah.
They obviously are recruiting great, so they're going to have a lot of talent, but they only have 9 returning starters, only 3 on offense. It's kind of like a reset, so be satisfied with a semifinal appearance.
Yeah,
national championship, great, but oh my goodness, if you get semifinal again, you know your program's in a good spot.
I think they're going to be good. I think there's going to be a lot of good teams. So
yeah, no, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be. I don't think we're going to get a 2007 season, but I think it's going to be more fun than last year.
I think it could be it won't be 2007's never going to happen again, but I think it's going to kind of creep up on it. One of the best seasons we've seen in a while. I think.
One thing that I do see happening as we go on with time is we are going to journey further and further away from perfect teams and almost NFL teams, which I hate. I hate that fact. I don't want college football to be anything like NFL. But at some point, it's going to start getting closer and closer to that as we continue to normalize and even out the scheduling, which is eventually going to happen.
And we're evening out to the NIL stuff.
Yeah,
now you have a salary cap and all that stuff.
And it's going to get really interesting really quickly. And I just keep it away from the NFL. Don't normalize that.
I feel like in a future podcast, we need to focus, we need to just cover what the future is going to look like. Just do a doomsday podcast. We're all wearing black, a funeral for college football.
That'd be interesting, I think.
Because I think there's going to be some weird stuff that's going to happen over the next few years. But this year's going to be great, so we're going to focus on this year. That's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the positive of college football.
Hopefully I don't get too sad with A&M.
No, we don't. We're not going to focus on A&M. I don't want to talk about A&M at all.
I actually don't have them in any of these notes.
I don't either. Besides, I have my SEC, all the record predictions.
None of them. They appear once in my notes.
I'm not going to mention them.
Hello, darkness. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it.
Let's just focus on the beauty of what this season's going to be.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we're going to have bold predictions, bold takes. We have different levels. I think I see level 1, level 2, level 3, and then insane take on yours.
Yes.
I did not do as much prep into these bold takes. I got a couple level 3s and a couple level 1s. You want to give your level 1 first? Start off kind of slow?
So I kind of did hint at it a second ago, But my first level 1 take, and this is something that I'm pretty big on, especially after going through all of like the season. There will not be a 16-0 champ this year.
Okay.
It's not like an insane take, but at the same time, that's also saying that there's like not a perfect team, which you constantly see in college football. You see perfect teams a ton.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening this year.
I agree with that.
I don't think there's a good enough team to do it.
Yeah, the thing about this year is at the top, there's probably like maybe 9, 10 different, like we're gonna talk about this later. I'm not gonna say my number, but we're gonna talk about how many teams can win a national championship. But there's a bigger
few.
number than usual. Like back in the past, it'd be like Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson. That's
it. You're like,
and sometimes it was only 2 of them. It was like Alabama, Georgia, and that's it. So like this year, I don't think there's a perfect team. Transfer portal, just all the NIL.
No,
I agree. My first take is kind of similar.
Okay.
In like showing the diversity, we'll have at least 6 number 1 teams this season.
Oh, dude,
at least 6. I'll give you my 6 I have right now. Or no, you give your 6 actually, if you can make 6.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah.
Clemson.
I don't have Clemson as one of my 6, but they could be. They could be. They're a potential. They're not one of my 6 I put.
Penn State.
Yeah, they're one of the 6 I put. There's 2 more from the SEC. 2 more. Florida. I put Florida because if they get pretty hot at the beginning, go like 5-0, they're a number 1 team in the nation.
This is what my 6 would be. LSU.
Okay. I did not have LSU. I also have Oregon on there. So those were my 6. It was Ohio State,
Oregon makes sense, but
Penn
at the same time, like, I can get into it more later when I get into Big Ten stuff because, I just have my prediction. Oh, goodness.
I think, for me, Oregon is a number 1 seed, our number 1 team towards the end of the season. That's what I'm going to say. I think I have the Penn State-Oregon matchup. I have Penn State winning. We'll talk about that later. So I think they'll take the number 1 there. I think in the future, Oregon will take back number 1. So my 6 is Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Georgia, Oregon, Florida. I think all of them will be number 1s. And I think there could be even more. Like someone like an Alabama, someone like an LSU, if they start out really hot, Clemson, they could be a number 1 team too. I think this is going to be a lot of really, really good teams, but no perfect teams. So I think there's going to be some switching off at number 1.
I'm kind of putting together pieces of some of these, and with Florida at 1, I can picture exactly what you're predicting, and I think we'll get there.
Yeah, no,
we'll get there.
Let's say I like Florida.
Oh my
a little bit.
Goodness,
just
gracious.
a little bit. I may be the biggest DJ Lackway fan in the entire world.
Dude, we're gonna have some fun with playoff
Straight
predictions.
up. No, that's what you guys should be waiting for. It's gonna be good. Okay, your next bold take.
Okay, so this is one that's kind of been like developing over the last few weeks. I don't think the Big Ten and the SEC are gonna come to an agreement on the playoffs.
Okay.
And it's gonna put a nail in the coffin of the future of college football. Like because from my understanding, and we'll get into this more later on, from my understanding, the Big Ten wants to do the AQ model.
Yeah.
The 4-4-2-2-3-1.
Yes.
And like I think that's a great model. But the SEC wants to do the 5-by-11 model.
Awful. I
Vile.
hate every second
and
of
that's
that.
because the SEC, rightfully so, thinks they're the best in college football. And because of that, they deserve more. Did we just go out?
No, that thing just turns off. We're good.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. We have like a camera right here that shows us, and then it just turns off randomly. But we're still good.
Way. Yeah, so anyways, what was I saying?
Talking about the SEC.
Yeah, so
1
the
and
SEC,
11, 5.
the SEC thinks that they deserve more than 4 automatics.
Which they kind of do.
I mean, if they think that, then yeah, get your 4 automatics and then take all 3 at large.
Yeah.
Which, if you're good enough, you should be able to.
Yeah, but the thing is with the 11 at large, they can some seasons get 7 or 8 teams in. Like, imagine they have, like, this year there's so many good teams at the top of the SEC. You could see Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas, all those people all getting in.
Well, I mean, theoretically, you can get 7 in.
Yeah.
Like, that's because if you think about it, if they do the AQ, we can get in this more later with AQ. I'm going to keep going on it if I don't. But yeah, I just don't think
it just limits it to 7, and SEC could start getting up to 8. 9 even.
I just don't think the Big Ten and the SEC are going to come to an agreement on the playoffs, and that's just going to mess up a lot of things.
what's the future if that happens? Like,
I don't know.
like is it just like everything fall apart? Do they like change everything? Go to like an NFL type model? Conferences change? Like, what's happening?
It would be really rough. Like
Yeah.
I just don't think it would be something that we want to go down, and I really hope that they just come to an agreement soon.
Yeah, I think sadly it's gonna go to 11-5
Yep.
because so they're gonna apparently also SEC is pushing to change the language basically of like the committee choosing where they can get more teams in too. Basically saying like, oh, it's more based on strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And I think at some point they'll convince the Big Ten like, hey, we can get 7 in, you can get 6 in every year.
Yeah,
like it's even better than the 4.
I think if they don't cut a deal quick with like what's already on the table, I think the Big Ten and the SEC are going to end up cutting a deal that like either makes them leave the NCAA.
I could see that happening.
It's going to cook the Big 12 and the ACC, which is
but
then
they're already kind of cooked. They're already kind of cooked.
It's going to cause them. It's going to cause the ACC and the Big 12 to basically stop or
Yeah.
like being a team. It's just not going to happen anymore, and that's just going to cause more expansion and like people moving around.
It's gonna get messy if they don't decide. I really hope we get the AQ model. Even though I hate AQ as like as a principle, I hate automatic qualifiers. But with 16 teams, that's the only thing we can do.
But with the AQ, you also get more football.
Yes, and I love
And
that.
low-key,
I love that.
I think we're gonna get more into that later because like I said, whenever I sat down and I remade the entire thing, it was so much fun because like I got to see. I was like, oh my gosh, there are so many better games we're gonna get out of this. So yeah, that's just kind of how I see it.
Okay, I forgot I had this. I do mention A&M once. I apologize.
Stop.
I know.
No.
As soon as I say this is not gonna happen.
Hold on. What are you about to say?
But this is not really a season thing. We're gonna have the top recruiting class in 2026, and then we're gonna have another top 5 in 2027. I just cursed us. We're not gonna have either. We're gonna have bottom classes for each, but I think we'll have back-to-back top 5 classes, 26, 27. Elko's cooking on the recruiting trail.
Dude, we're about to
He's
go
doing
like
great.
4 and 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
curse
then-
us,
and
and Elko's
then-
gonna get fired immediately.
In November, whenever the new schedule drops,
Yeah. We're
it's gonna be
cooked.
like at Georgia, at Alabama, at Tennessee,
Texas is coming to us. LSU is coming to us.
at Oklahoma.
We're gonna get
Oh
Ole
my-
Miss for some reason. Florida because they're good now.
Yeah, we're gonna get at Florida,
Hey,
at
hey,
Georgia, at Alabama.
Do not forget
at
the
Tennessee.
greatest rivalry in the SEC, South Carolina A&M. Do not forget that. We're gonna get that.
Dude, that game, I still remember it so well. I was at home alone watching that game, and I got so mad, I went outside and threw up.
The one we lost 44-20.
Yes!
Ooh.
I'm sitting there watching this game, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go throw up real quick.
It was awful. It was. As soon as Le'Veon Moss went down, I just like collapsed. Like I was on my knees in the middle of the living room, just crying. I was like, "We're just
Dude,
cooked."
if you just cursed us,
No, I cursed us, but we're already cursed. So like maybe like reverses, like double curses, like somehow. makes
dude,
it
I know where
positive.
you live. Just let
Yeah,
me
bro.
know.
As
Like
soon-
I'm coming straight to
As
your house.
soon as we lose our first game, who we playing again? I don't even know.
UTSA,
And then we play Utah State.
I actually saw a prediction the other day of UTSA winning 16-13.
If that happens, I'm.
It was
I
on a
may jump off
UTSA.
the
It was
third
on a
deck.
UTSA fan page, and honestly, like
It could happen.
if it happens, every single comment was Aggie here. Would not be surprised if this happens. Like,
If it happens, you have like you can come to my door and shoot me straight up because it's on me. I agree that it's on me because what I just said, like it's on me. So, but no, I believe Elko. He's only been here for 2 years and he's already cooking within Texas. He's already going to other states that even Jimbo didn't go to. Why'd I just mention that man's name? I don't know.
I think
I
we're
really
gonna
love
have,
his recruiting style.
I think we're gonna have good classes. I do, and I think he's a good fit. I think what's gonna come down to is if we don't have good seasons, we're gonna lose them.
That's true. And especially we'll just lose in the transfer
And
portal.
I mean, with how I expect this season to go, I really don't have a lot of confidence. Like I want to have confidence. I
Yeah.
want to be excited, and I want to think that we're gonna be really good. But at the same time, like I don't want to get my hopes
yeah.
up.
The thing about NIL, yes, we're about to get a cap, but I don't think that's like paying the players. I think still organizations can go
Yeah.
outside that cap.
Yeah.
And A&M still has the most
Oh
money.
yeah.
Still has the most money. ish. They're on the top. You know, the other team is Texas. We have the most alumni money.
That's a good
Does it all
take.
go in the
Like,
program? I don't know, but I saw what Elko's doing. He did it even faster than Jimbo did. I think he can get.
But hey, you got to
Top
remember.
fives.
You got to remember one thing I always say about Aggie football. You can't become unhappy if you weren't ever happy in the
That's
first place.
true.
That's one thing I said probably about 90 times last year.
And you were
And
still
it's-
unhappy, so,
I-
it didn't
you
really
can't-
work.
you
You were
can't-
unhappy the whole
you
time.
can't become happy if you're never, or you can't become unhappy if you're never happy.
But you were-
so
okay.
I was never happy. So.
True, but you okay. Wait, time out. What was your prediction at the beginning of the season last year? I predicted them to go 10-2 and make the playoff. You were somewhere high on them.
I had us at 10-2.
Yeah. See,
I had us at like the number 11 seed or something. And now I have us at 8-4.
I was 8-4 too. Exactly.
Like
it's gonna happen.
if we go 6-6, I'm gonna say, yeah.
If we go 5-7, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Our schedule's like it's not bad, but there's a lot of like.
There's a
toss-up
lot of games that we just be like, why did we lose that?
Bro, okay, let's get off aim.
Yeah.
Let's get off aim.
No, that's it.
That's
it.
my
We're
fault for
done.
mentioning them.
We're
That's my
done.
fault.
All right. I have 2 in level 2, but I'm only gonna choose. Okay, I can actually tie these into one. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
first, last year there was only 9 10+ win teams.
Okay.
I think there's gonna be 15+ in the Power 4 this year. 15.
I may have something just basically the same thing.
And this is what makes it even crazier. One of those teams are going to have 11 wins, and they're not going to make the playoffs. I didn't like.
What?
I didn't
What?
like.
Pause.
Personally, I didn't like.
Pause.
I didn't like Indiana in the playoffs last year.
Oh, I hated Indiana.
I didn't
and
like them in
SMU.
the playoffs.
Both of them were should not been in the playoffs.
But they got the benefit of the doubt because they were a 10+ win team,
Mm-hmm.
and there was only 9 of them, or 10 of them maybe. Oh no,
There was.
I guess there was 12.
Was it 12?
I guess there was 12.
LOL. Who knows?
But either way, no. Clemson Clemson was a 9-win team.
yeah, they were a 9-win team.
They were 9
before.
wins.
They won
So
the conference championship.
either way, 15+ is a lot. Like that rarely happens, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think because of SEC bias and Big Ten bias, and them harping on, hey, we're having harder schedules here. This 11-win team is going to come in, and they're going to be like, you don't have a big enough win,
Yeah.
and your one loss kills you.
Mhm.
Like I think this team's going to make the conference title and still not make the playoffs. It's rough. But I mean, I think Indiana and SMU ruined the 10 and 11 win look. Like you're going to come in with 11 wins and be like, "Man, I had a good season." But your one loss is going to be to ranked number 20 team,
Yeah.
and like your best win is against like a number 18 or 19 team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you get in at that. Like compared to a 10-win SEC team that has played in some of the roughest areas, that is dumb. Like I'm gonna get more into that whenever I come into my predictions. But yeah, an 11-win team is gonna miss the playoffs.
I agree with that. Because of all the backlash you got from fans, media, whatever, I think the committee is going to put like this, like if the same exact season happened this year of last year, both South Carolina and Alabama would make it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
one
the
thing,
committee is going to like almost overcompensate, which
yes, exactly. Like I would not be surprised if the playoffs this year are just like horrid because the committee's gonna be like, oh, we messed up last year.
Yeah.
We need to fix this. And so they're gonna be like 2 8-4 SEC teams.
No, I have some whack stuff in here just
They're gonna
because
be
of
like,
that.
That's what I messed up on. Whenever I made my playoffs, I thought logically.
Oh, you messed up
Dang
so
it.
much. You
I
messed up
thought
so much.
logically, and I didn't think like record wise. So that's gonna just cook us. I mean,
Yeah, okay, so our bold takes are kind of coinciding.
yeah.
I didn't really have levels on mine. I guess I'll say this is a level 2. This is kind of a part of the overcompensating, but only 3 non-SEC Big Ten teams will make the CFP. So only the 3 automatic qualifiers. So that's the ACC champion, the Big 12 champion, and a group of 5, and that's it. Yeah, you're realizing stuff right now. You're putting 2 and 2 together. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that in my predictions too.
Okay, so you do, yeah. that's all about the
Wait,
overcompensating.
wait. Do I? No. I have an extra one, I guess. No. Yeah, it is.
I also had 14 10-win teams, so I was one off.
I mean, technically, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of my 12 are SEC or Big Ten.
Yeah, that's mine.
So
9 of mine 12.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yours is even.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm saying you're realizing. You didn't realize what's
Hold
happening
on.
here. Don't
Hold
calm
on.
down.
All right,
We'll
all
get
right,
to
all
that.
right.
We'll get to that.
All right.
But I think it's because of the overcompensating.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, okay, we gotta put these SEC teams, we gotta put these Big Ten teams, even
Yeah,
if they
for
have
sure.
less wins. Okay, I got
How
2
many-
more.
Okay.
How many do you have more?
I have 2, but I honestly don't want to do my insane take because I think I'm going to develop it more later.
Okay, I am gonna do my next 2 because they kind of relate.
Yeah, do
to
your
what's
next
about
2
to
because
happen.
this one that I'm about to say is kind of crazy.
Okay, my first one is I'm gonna leave the craziest one for last. Both Ohio State and Clemson will have 3 losses. Yes.
Whoa.
Okay, let me give some reasoning, and then you can react. Okay, so let's go to Ohio State first.
Okay.
Obviously, Ohio State's going to be a great team. I still have them. Actually, no, I'm not going to say what I have them. I can't. We're
Yeah,
going to get to that.
don't like say what teams they lose to yet.
I won't. We'll get to that. But the
But
thing
I
is,
know what 3 teams you're talking about. I can just picture it.
Yeah, you probably know
Yeah.
what 3 teams. The thing is,
It's like the only 3 teams
9-3
they play
with their schedule isn't awful, right? And I think they'll still be a good team. But the thing with Ohio State is I had to choose. There's a lot of new quarterbacks, right? A lot of unproven quarterbacks. You got Ty Simpson. DJ Lagway, he's not really unproven, but he hasn't done a ton of stuff. You got Dante Moore, only at UCLA. And then you got Julian Sane. So I watched all of their film, and this was the guy. I thought his throwing form was weak. He looked unconfident. Obviously, he has time to grow, but I'm betting he's not going to be good.
You're talking about the team that just won the national
Yes.
championship with Will Howard.
Yes. But Will Howard, the thing
And
about Will Howard,
arguably could have won it the year before with Kyle McCord.
no. I get what you're saying. I understand that. I think their defense is still going to be good,
Oh, goodness.
but they only have 3 returners on defense, and they also lost, what's his face, Jim Knowles. They have a new D coordinator,
Yeah, that's
and
actually
it's
kind
Matt
of huge.
Patricia.
That's-
I'm not a big Matt Patricia guy.
Oh,
That's
I
the
didn't
thing.
even know that.
Yeah, so that's not great.
Yeah, that guy kind of ruined it for me whenever he went to the Lions.
No,
and
he's
absolutely cooked the Lions.
he has not
dude.
had a good track record.
Wait, so that means Ryan Day now has 2 NFL coordinators.
Yeah,
What?
which is kind of weird.
I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy,
Yeah,
actually.
but so-
whoa.
Only 3 returning starters on defense. We got Matt Patricia coming in. So their defense is still going to be good. They recruit great. But still, I think that could be a little weaker.
I can.
I think the
I'm
quarterback
gonna wait.
play can be
I'm
a little
gonna
weaker.
Wait until my picks to argue that.
Yeah.
So
That's my Ohio
'cause
State take.
I have my takes. Oh my gosh.
And then my Clemson take. 3 losses.
Okay, but I can.
You can see that one a little more.
I see why.
One, they obviously have lots of returning starters, but I don't think they were as good last year as people thought. One, they had 3 losses in the regular season. They had losses to Georgia, Louisville, and South Carolina. So first, they lost 3 games.
That's not a bad resume though.
And then secondly,
not.
they had close wins, like last-second wins over both Pitt and SMU. They could have been, with just a snap of the finger, a 5-loss team, like straight up.
Dude,
They were on the also they almost beat Texas. So there was kind of a tipsy, like they were on the edge of being really good or being a very average team. And so I think their starters are not as good as we think. I think they'll have 3 losses.
I'm gonna wait until we get into our playoff picks to get into that because I have my rebuttals for both of those.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear them.
My level 3 take is kind of crazy for the fact that this has never happened.
Oh dang.
I think there's going to be 7+ quarterbacks who have 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. That has never happened. Never.
Dang.
And like you go through it and you can like 7 to 10 quarterbacks that you can name. You're like, yeah, they could 100% do that.
Mm-hmm.
But all 7 doing it at the same time, it's going to make for a very interesting Heisman race if that happens. All love to, like, we're going to get into this more. All love to Jeremiah Smith, but
Yeah.
if you have 7 dudes that threw for 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, you're not even going to scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have him scratching, but like it would be so insanely tough, especially because I went through it and there's 9. I have 9 quarterbacks that I think could do it.
Okay.
9.
Do you have the list?
I do not. I
Okay.
probably should have.
That's chill.
I mean, but yeah, I think there's 9 guys that could do it. And out of those 9 guys, almost every single one returns at least 1 starting receiver, most likely 2 on each of them, and they return a pretty good amount of O-line.
That's
which
big.
that's what you need.
Yeah.
And they all come from offense-heavy teams. Like, let me see if I can name them off the dome. I might be able to. I think Cade Klubnik,
Yeah.
Drew Aller.
Mm-hmm.
My mind's already blanking, guys. This is bad. Usually I
Lagway?
can.
That could be one.
Sam Levitt.
I can see Sam Levitt. Yeah.
Dante Moore.
Yeah, I can see Dante Moore.
I could see DJ Lagway doing it. I
Yeah.
could. Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do I have? Oh, John Mateer.
Yeah.
That's 7.
Yeah. You could even see.
I could see 8 or 9.
You could see Arch Manning doing it.
Arch Manning, yes.
You could see. What's the Ole Miss quarterback? Austin Simmons. Is that
Austin
his name?
Simmons,
You could see
yeah.
him doing it because a lot of people are high on him. I'm not necessarily high on him, but people love him.
He's in. Hold on. I have it in here. He's in the top 15 for Heisman.
Yeah. No, people
Like,
are in love with
They
him.
love the guy. And like, oh, that's my.
I mean, I watched
Heisman
some
list.
film and he looked good, but I don't think he's gonna be any better than Jackson Dart, right?
Yeah. So like, I could see Arch Manning maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on.
You could see a Carson Beck even
It
in
just
Miami
more
with
so,
those
it
weapons.
just more so depends on Arch Manning's offensive line. But Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, John Mateer, Dante Moore, Kevin Jennings, Carson Beck,
forgot about
Austin
Kevin Jennings.
Simmons, Sam Levitt. If CJ Carr's good at football,
Yeah. Then,
that's 10 people,
Mhm.
11 people. That is bonkers.
and you don't even mention like the guy that I don't believe in, Julian Sane. If he's like a
He's
5-star level,
good.
Ty Simpson. If he's 5-star level from Alabama,
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah.
There's-
I've been waiting for this year for quarterback play.
yeah.
Like, this quarterback play is gonna be great. Next year is gonna be even better.
No, the quarterbacks
Like-
coming up are good.
Oh, I'm so excited. Football is getting really good, and I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
No, I feel like in the past we've only had like 3 quarterbacks that you're like, okay, I'm excited about them. This year there's like you just keep going down the list.
Yeah, like
Like Avery Johnson from Kansas State. I
Oh.
think he'll be good too. Like
I
there's
like
so many,
the guy, but
there's so many
I'm
people-
not high on him.
I don't think he could do this because he's more of a runner.
Yeah.
The 3,500, but I think he'll be a good quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
So like,
I mean, that's also like what you got to take into this is like some of these quarterbacks are gonna have 3,000, 3,200 yards and 25, 30 passing touchdowns,
yeah,
but they're gonna be shorter on the yards and touchdowns because they're gonna run a
Mhm.
lot more because they want to. And I mean, no hate on that. Like, I think that's great and it's gonna help you with your Heisman race. But like that's the only way I think this wouldn't hit.
it's because they
Is
have
if guys start running. That's it.
yeah they
That's-
could
that's
have
it.
3,500 total yards, but
Yeah.
it would just be a lot of running.
Oh yeah. Which honestly, if there's 7+ quarterbacks with 3,500 total yards and 30 touchdowns combined,
That's still crazy.
that's insane.
This is
but yeah.
like insane.
Yeah, that's all my takes. I do have an insane take.
Do you? I kind of want to hear it, or is it like it's so undeveloped that it can't be revealed right now?
I think we need to go through. I think once I get through my playoff predictions.
Okay,
like,
I have one more. I have
go
one
for
more
it.
take.
Go for it.
Auburn will be a top 5 team at 2 different points next season.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get behind that one. I see where you're coming from. I don't think Hugh Freeze is that guy.
That's my
don't.
one
I
concern.
don't.
But for some reason, deep down, I trust Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still basing
I mean,
my belief on him, what he did at Ole Miss, because what he did at Ole Miss was like incredible.
I think they have the talent to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jackson Arnold has that potential yet. I think he has the potential,
He
but
has the potential.
I think they have the weapons to do it. I think they're gonna hit a roadblock.
This
at
is a
some
very
point.
potential pick, right?
I think I had Auburn at like 8-4 though. Like, I honestly think I had Auburn pretty high.
No, I think Auburn will be good next season.
I have them at 7-5.
LOL. LOL.
But I mean, they have a rough schedule too.
They have a rough schedule.
Rough
Well,
schedule.
no, their schedule is actually one of the easiest in the SEC. Let me pull it up.
Low
I
key,
don't
I
have it
might
up in
have just
front
like
of me.
went through it and just like hated on them for no reason.
Let me see.
But
if
I
know
mean-
their schedule.
I do think Auburn can be good. Like, I would not be surprised if they come into Kyle Field and beat the tar out of us.
Oh, yeah.
Week 4.
I could see that.
I would be like, yeah, all power to you, man. Like, I agree.
Okay, here's their schedule. They got Baylor, Ball State, South Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Georgia, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Mercer, Alabama.
So I think you can clear cut 3 wins. 4.
No, this stretch right here, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, such a nice stretch.
I think you can actually clear cut 5 here. I think you can clear cut Ball State, South Alabama, Mizzou, Kentucky, and Mercer. I like Vanderbilt.
I think they beat Vanderbilt.
I think they beat Vanderbilt, so that's 6.
I think they beat Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is it's at Arkansas.
That's true, which gets a little weird, but I'm just not a big Arkansas fan.
I think that's where I had my 7 with them.
And they can beat A&M.
I think
they
they
beat
beat
Oklahoma.
Baylor. I think they'll beat Baylor.
I think they'll beat Baylor.
I think that's going to be a great game.
No, I think it will be.
That's going to be a great game.
Part of them being top 5 twice is the chaos that I believe will happen. But I think they'll start off 5-0, be top 5. And then I think they can win a lot in a row. I'm not going to tell you where I think they're going to lose.
We're going to talk more about that later because you just said 5-0.
I think they can start 5-0.
We're going to do that after this podcast because we're going to be on here forever if we start talking about that.
Okay.
Because I know what you just did.
I just did something.
And I think we're going to fight over that.
That's okay.
So
I'm ready to fight later.
We're going to fight later over that.
Let's go to the playoffs.
There's actually 2 of those that I'm like, I don't agree with. Oh my gosh. We're going to be on this forever if we actually sit here and talk about
we got to lock in and focus on what we're doing. But yeah, I think the Auburn pick, I get it. It's a little crazy, but it's my boldest take. And it's based on you see their recruiting, you see their transfer portal. They have all the pieces, but do they have the quarterback and do they have the coach?
See, I think
I'm trusting in that, which is crazy.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm putting my trust in Jackson Arnold.
Oh my gosh, dude.
But I am.
I can't. That might be crazier than my insane take.
No, that one was crazy. That one was when I said bold takes, I said, let me look for some bold takes that I believe in. And I fully believe in this Auburn team.
Pulled out the craziest thing ever. All right.
I'm reading it and I'm like, why did I predict this?
All right.
Top 5, 12. I don't know.
Let's do our playoff.
I could have just said top 5 once. I could have said top 5 once.
So this is how I formatted my paper.
Okay.
And then this is, I don't know how you formatted his. So I have my top, which is the conference title picks.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the left side, I have my ranks. I have 1 through 16 on here. So I have the first 4 out.
I have 1 through 20.
And then I have my playoffs on the right. So I also have a sheet of paper right here that has every single Power 4 ranked.
I have that too.
Or not ranked, but I went through.
Record.
We found this really cool website. And you could did you use the website?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, it was so much fun.
Let me shout them out, low key.
Low key, yeah.
Pro Football and Sports Network.
Look it up, or just look up college football record predictor.
Yeah,
and it's one of the first things that pops up, and it's 500 games though.
I didn't predict all of them. I just picked the Power 4 conferences.
Yeah, I only did. It was 480.
Yeah, so it was
a lot of games. I at first was gonna do all of them. It was 900 games, and I was you know what?
No way.
But yeah, I went through. And yeah, I came up with standings for every single conference. And okay, I'm not gonna lie though, the website does kind of put it weird into who's in the conference title, so you might have to look at that a little bit. I had to mess with
that. I don't know if I got it right, but I had to mess with it for a while.
I have a let me see. I have a 4-way tie in the Big Ten.
Big Ten, SEC, I had a 5-way tie.
Okay, I have a 4-way tie for second place in the SEC.
Yeah, I have a 5-way for that.
The ACC and the Big 12 were very easy. They just immediately I have a 3-way tie for second in the Big 12, but it kind of it lined out really quickly. The Big 10, I had to research it and go into it because it's one team beat this team beat that team, this team beat that team, and then that team lost some no name, and you're I don't know what to do. But let's do our 4 Power 4 champions.
Yeah.
And who they win against.
Okay. Let's start with, I say we start with the lower conferences and get more.
Yeah, so
let's start Big 12.
Big 12. Okay.
This one, yeah. This could go either way. Big 12, looking at my, all my record predictions, everyone was so close.
Yeah.
And, I just had,
for sure.
You could have Baylor beating BYU one day, and then the next day Utah beating West Virginia, and then you have West Virginia beating Baylor. It was just, crazy stuff was happening. And that's how the Big 12 is going to be this year. So I could really see anyone making it.
So I I kind of went with the crowd
Okay.
on the Big 12. I chose Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech will be 11-1 coming in, and they're going to be playing Arizona State.
11-1 is crazy.
But here's what's funny about
Dang.
that. Do you know who they lose to in the regular season?
Who?
Arizona State.
Okay.
I think it's at Arizona State. I can't remember, but yeah, like I think Texas Tech wins the Big 12, and I'll explain here in a minute after like we say all of our picks of why I chose them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Texas Tech, they're gonna win that game. I mean, Texas Tech at Jerry's World,
Yeah.
could it get any better than that?
That would be incredible. Okay, here's the thing about Texas Tech. I have them at 7-5. So I'm completely down on them. I get like I get the transfer portal class is amazing. I love it.
I think
but
you're just mad at Micah Hudson.
there could be a little bit of that in there, but just
that's so real.
with like Florida State. Here's what I think of. 1 year with their all based on transfer portal, they went 13-0.
Yeah.
Next year, all based on transfer portal, they went 2-10. It's just not guaranteed out of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's the coach's name again.
Dude, I don't even know.
He's a young dude. Young
he's
blood.
relatively new.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Joey Maguire.
yeah, Joey McGuire. There you go.
I just don't know
What
about
a
Joey
name.
Maguire. I think there's just a lot of uncertainty, and I just don't trust a fully built on transfer portal team because they are. Let's be
Yeah,
honest. Their
yeah.
their
And I mean,
recruiting is not that good.
I could see like again, the Big 12 is insane.
Yeah,
Like
I could see them winning.
I grew up watching the Big 12, and I'm like, I don't know who's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oklahoma. You're like, oh, but like other than that, you're kind of like, man, like they just beat up on it. Like I could realistically see like 5 or 6 teams being 9-3 in the Big 12, and
Yeah.
there being a 5-way tie, and they're like, I don't know what to do. And I think that'd be really cool. Like last year was really fun watching them come down the home stretch, and you have 4 teams that are 9-2,
Mhm.
and you're like, I don't
And
know.
one of them, Arizona State, who won it,
I don't know what's gonna look like this.
was predicted to be like last place,
Yeah.
second to last place. Like
Yeah.
anything can happen in the Big 12.
I like Arizona State. I mean, I thought I wouldn't, but
They have,
later on, you're gonna understand why I really like Arizona.
they have like 16 returning starters, something like that.
16 returning starters.
It's crazy.
I think their biggest takeaway is obviously they lost Scatabo,
Mhm.
which is huge. Like you can't just lose a guy like that and then replace him. But yeah, I think Texas Tech versus Arizona State rematch in the Big 12 championship. Great game. Who do you have?
Okay, I could see 8 different teams winning.
Oh,
That's how I think diverse this Big 12 is going to be. But I kind of end up going chalk anyway. I have Kansas State versus Iowa State. Kansas State at 10-2, Iowa State at 9-3. I only had 3 teams above 9-3 and above, and then everyone else is just like at 8-4. Like everyone's at 8-4 basically.
I have Kansas State at 5-7.
Kansas State is my champion, bro. We're like
Oh my
opposite.
gosh! Okay, Iowa State though I also have 9-3.
Yeah.
I don't know why Kansas State got lost so much in like my
Yeah.
thing,
What are
yeah,
you disliking about Kansas State?
I just don't think Avery Johnson's that guy.
I get that, but they have a really good defense.
They do,
And they have 2 really good running backs.
but they also disappointed me last year, and
True.
I don't know if I can trust them again.
I get
Like
that.
last year, I chose them as my conference champ, and they just pooped the bed. Like, not a whole lot I can do there. But yeah, I just think great pick though. Like I think
I love your pick too. Like I could see both those teams.
Yeah, like either way, what's gonna happen is like West Virginia's gonna win it. This is like
West Virginia was my 4th best team in the Big 12.
I have them at 5-7.
I have them at 8-4.
What the? Hold on.
I'm a big West Virginia fan with Rich Rod.
Dude, I'm so excited for the Big 12. The Big 12 is insane. Like,
Every week we're just gonna be like, what is happening? Like,
oh my
what the heck
gosh,
is happening?
Oh my gosh. I could legit see like every single Big 12 team being like 6-6.
I hope that happens. We just be cinema and you have a 7-6 team in the playoff, and you're just like,
in the perfect world, we get the butt bowl for the conference title game because they don't play in the regular season. But yeah, if we get the butt bowl in the conference title, I'm going to that game, dude.
hey, it's in Jerry's world. We can
Yeah,
pull up.
and it would be a Texas v Texas team. Got to support my Baptist, man. Ooh, I would not cheer for either team. I would pull up wearing A&M gear.
You'd be like, yeah.
We went 8-4, bro.
Come on.
We are not in the
Come
conference
on.
title. Anyways,
Bro, did you see real quick aside, that BYU's quarterback's transferring. They're cooked now. Yeah, they did. Jake, whatever.
The
Jake,
Jewish guy?
yeah, the Jewish guy.
Whoa!
BYU Jew is gone. Because he, what did he do?
That new 5-star's coming in.
Yeah, and also he got accused of some sort of.
Did he really?
I'm not gonna say what it is. I forgot what he got accused of, but he left.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've seen a lot of like stuff going on with BYU recently, and it's like so cool. Like they got that guy. His last name is like Lyons or something.
Yeah, he's going on his Mormon missionary.
I know.
First.
That's low key. I mean, respect to the guy.
Yeah.
Respect to like doing that instead
No, that's
of,
big time that you care about your faith that much. Low-key
and
for
yeah,
football.
I mean, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think that's insane. I think that's gonna be huge for BYU.
They also got AJ, whatever his name is. Last name starts with a D. The top basketball recruit. He's not even Mormon.
I think they'll get a lot of guys off of this 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
Not in this upcoming class, but the next one, because of course he's gonna be the next one. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like I think it's a great, like, dude. Don't get me wrong. Like I wish the best for BYU, but every single week I was praying on their downfall last year.
I hated BYU. I'm not gonna lie.
We were sitting at a camp like it's like this weekend, and we were doing the BSM retreat, and we're out there hanging out, watching the game. Like we're like, lose, please. And that was whenever they were playing. They won. That was whenever they played. That might have been whenever they played Utah.
No, Utah. I remember Utah vividly. It was at home. Like I was at Samuel's house.
They were playing.
And
I forgot who they were playing, but it
was
was a night game, and it was like came down to the wire, and we were watching.
It was a good
and,
team.
yeah,
I don't remember who it was.
It might have been Iowa State.
That makes sense.
It might have been Iowa State. Anyways,
also the Utah game.
Yeah.
I was gonna crash out.
Yeah,
because I wanted Utah to win so bad.
So okay, let's
hate you
move
now,
on
Utah.
to our ACC.
You were my pick to make the semis last
So
year.
this is
I
what's
hate you.
funny. You said you didn't like Clemson here. I have an 11-1 Clemson versus an 11-1 Miami. Both
LOL.
both 8-0 in the ACC.
Dang, you hate the bottom of the ACC, I guess.
My ACC is pretty interesting. Like it goes 11-1, 11-1, 10-2, 10-2, 9-3, 7-5.
Okay,
Like immediate
that's mine
drop
too.
off.
Actually, that's mine too.
So
but a little closer.
that means Clemson and Miami both lost non-conference games.
So to Florida.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
I think Clemson wins that game. I'm going to explain to you here in a minute why I think Clemson is all that once we get through our conference title picks. But yes, I think Clemson's going to win that game and be 12-1.
You're about to laugh at this. I have.
Hold on, wait. Let me guess.
Yeah, guess.
You're going to have Louisville. You like Louisville. I know you do.
Like Louisville.
I think you're gonna have Duke and Louisville.
That would be crazy. Okay, I do have Duke at 10-2.
Ooh,
but they're 6-2 in conference. I had Clemson at 9-3, 6-2 in conference, and Miami 9-3, 6-2 in conference. Both because of all the tiebreakers.
in the conference title,
they are both 2 9-3 teams. Conference title. Clemson wins it, so I have Clemson in the playoff. Still, despite 3 losses.
I totally understand that. So you have Clemson at 9-3.
Yeah, 9-3. Miami at 9-3.
Wait. So you have Clemson at 9-3.
Yeah,
with 2 conference losses.
2 conference losses.
To Georgia Tech and Louisville.
Georgia Tech and Louisville. Yeah, I think those are my 2.
Great season, by the way, for Clemson. If Clemson does 11-1 like I expect them to,
yeah, they actually have a
that's
hard
going to
schedule.
be insane.
Yeah.
So then that means you have Clemson losing to either LSU or South Carolina, and I think you have them losing South Carolina.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah, I have a pretty funny prediction that I'm going to say to you. So it's gonna be pretty silly.
We'll get into that.
So,
we'll get into that.
I don't know. I don't think there's much controversy within the ACC.
No, there's not.
I think there's 2 clear favorites. One thing that I'm seeing a constant topic about Miami is how they don't know if their defense is going to be good or their offense. Like their offense last year was insane, and I think Carson Beck's good at football. I've always thought Carson Beck's good at football.
Not number 1 pick good, but he's good.
He'll be good. Yeah. So I mean, I expect Miami to be good. Like I tossed and turned, and I want Miami to be that team. Like I like Miami. I always have. I think they're cool. But yeah, I mean, they just have they have an interesting schedule. I think especially opening with Notre Dame.
That's tough. And then Florida in week 4.
Dude, rough schedule for Miami there. But yeah, I mean, I also think they kind of ease out with the conference. Yeah, they play Louisville. They play SMU. They play at Virginia Tech. They play some pretty good teams.
Yeah, but their last their last 6 games, let's be honest. Stanford, SMU, Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, easy.
What do you have? FSU.
FSU, I have 7 and 5.
I have 6 and 6.
I think they're gonna be very average,
I
very
think they're
mid.
gonna be interesting. I think they're gonna be fun.
They went from 13-0, 2-10. I think they're really just a mid team.
For the record, that might be the only time the conference or the committee is actually chosen correct.
I agree with that choice too. I hate when people are like, Florida State was screwed out of the playoff. I'm like, shut up.
I can remember so well whenever like they did the whenever they put out the playoffs. I was sitting at Central Baptist at this massive church. It's like sits like 1,500 people in the sanctuary. I'm sitting there next to one of my friends. Her name is Emily. I'm sitting next to her with like my phone on watching it. Don't do that, by the way, in church service.
No, bro.
I'm sitting there.
We never do that.
I'm sitting there watching it. We'll actually have a really even funnier story from this past year with the selections. I'll tell you that one later.
I hated that selection show.
But I'm sitting there with my phone on, and I am losing my mind because me and my friend were texting back and forth. One of my really good friends, he's a Texas fan. And I remember me and him were texting back and forth because I'm like, Alabama's going to make the playoffs. And he's like, no, they're not. And so me and him were going back and forth on it. And sure enough, Alabama makes the playoffs. I start freaking out. And everyone around me is like, what is wrong with this guy? But yeah, I mean, I think FSU is going to have a fun season.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Norvell is going to be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Which isn't really weird because he just signed a huge contract. And I mean,
he went 2-10 after his huge contract.
Rough, dude. I don't know. I think FSU versus Alabama week 1 is going to be week 1 is loaded.
Yeah.
I'm excited for week 1.
I think Alabama smacks them.
Oh, yeah.
Like 45-10.
I was kind of like toying with it, and I was like, it'd be fun
Were
if
you
FSU...
texting me and you're like, I could see FSU winning? I said, are you good, bro?
I think it'd be funny, but then after I went through this, I was kind of like, yeah, FSU's going to get killed.
Bro, they're not good.
I think ACC is going to be a fun conference.
I think ACC is going to be the most fun it's been in a long time.
I think this year with the Big 12 and the ACC is going to help push the Big 12 or the Big 10 and the SEC to start pushing their agenda, especially after this season.
Yeah.
Because of everything that I think is going to happen with the playoffs, the SEC and Big 10 are just going to become so large that they're just not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So... I don't know. I think it's like a sad, kind of somber feeling, but at the same time,
it's like when the Pac-12 left. It's gonna be a feeling like that.
Yeah, dude. Pac-12 returned though.
Please, if Pac-12 returned, I'd be the happiest man alive. If the true Pac-12 returned.
What needs to happen is
Texas
Tarleton State.
Texas State.
Tarleton State needs to go to the Pac-12.
Well,
come on. I got a few boys out there at Tarleton. The guy that played quarterback for me.
Is he out there?
Yeah, he plays for Tarleton. His name is Ike Hall.
Okay.
Love that guy.
Okay.
Then there was we got another guy. He plays corner out at Tarleton.
Okay.
Yeah, both cool guys, and they both get PT from what I know. So I think Tarleton's gonna come FBS soon.
Hey, if they're allowing Texas State to go in, might as well allow Tarleton.
I think Tarleton's been kicking butt in FCS. So why not?
They'll go FBS.
Why not?
They will.
Oh, the guy that used to play kicker with me in high school, he's also at Tarleton.
Is he actually starting kicking?
I don't think he's starting, but I think he does. He's good at kicking.
Okay.
He's really good.
Then he should
I always loved whenever he's not better than I think he is. I don't know. I haven't seen him kick in a while. I mean, I was his long snapper, so I always loved after practice, dude. I'm freaking dead. And I wasn't allowed to take my pads off, but he was allowed to take his pads off. And so was our holders. So I'm sitting with my pads on. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm that's a huge rabbit trail. Anyways,
ACC, I think it's going to be fun. I have 5 teams tied at the top to end the season.
Dude, I think I just caught a glimpse of your Big 10 and I'm kind of sick.
Do not worry. Do not worry about what
Anyways, so let's jump to Big 10.
Okay, so let's go. You want to hear mine? You just want to hear it?
Okay, hold on. Do you have give me your top 4 for the Big 10? Actually, no. Give me your top 6.
Okay, top 6. Okay.
Top 6.
At 6 is Ohio State. 9-3, 7-2 in conference. Michigan, 5, 9-3, 7-2 in conference. Nebraska, 10-2.
Whoa.
7-2 in conference. We'll get to Nebraska. Don't worry. Illinois, 10-2. 8-1 in conference. Penn State, 11-1, 8-1 in conference, and then Oregon, 11-1, 8-1 in conference. Yes.
Oh my
You just heard
Okay,
what I
you ready
said.
for mine?
I want to hear your top 6.
Minnesota, 10-2,
I kind of
7-2.
I kind of like Minnesota, I guess.
Illinois,
Wait, do you say Minnesota 10-2?
10-2. Illinois, 10-2, 7-2.
What are you doing, bro? What's happening?
Michigan, 10-2,
Okay.
8-1.
Okay.
Oregon, 11-1, 8-1.
Okay.
Penn State, 11-1, 8-1. Ohio State, 10-2, 8-1.
Okay.
My Big Ten title is Ohio State versus Penn State, with Ohio State winning.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
For Minnesota at 10-2, I don't know if I
Okay,
can
but
take
Minnesota.
that.
Hold on.
Then
Pull
get
up
up in
their
Nebraska.
schedule. Pull up their schedule
Okay,
fast, and I'll tell you what I chose. Okay, but to kind of key in this, I have USC at 9-3, 7-2. They play a big part in this.
Okay.
They play a huge part in this.
I can find their schedule. There we go.
Did you not just look at the schedule?
You know what? You know
how
that
much
would
easier
have been
is?
smarter.
Okay, so they'll beat Buffalo, they'll beat Northwestern State, they'll beat California.
Oh my! Oh,
You just like clicked
oh
off
my
the whole
goodness.
thing.
Yeah, we're back.
They'll lose to Oregon, and
Okay.
they'll lose to Ohio State, and that's it.
Yeah, I can see that.
10-2.
See,
They're good.
basically, I said that, but with Nebraska.
Okay,
Nebraska's my
see
Minnesota.
that. I could see that. I mean,
Like they're playing no one. I actually had them losing to both Penn State and UCLA.
you don't have them losing to Minnesota?
No, I have them beating Minnesota.
Okay, I have USC at 9-3. Can you click on them real fast so I
Yeah.
can tell you what
I
I
have
picked?
USC at.
I think
let me
USC's building something. Like I'm kind
They're
of
recruiting nicely.
I'm kinda
In
scared.
NIL, they're kind of
I'm
figuring
kind
it
of
out.
scared.
They're kind of figuring NIL out.
I had them losing to Notre Dame, Oregon. Oh, who else did I have them losing to?
About to
Hold on.
advance
hold
up
on,
to 10 and
hold
2.
on. No, because then I would mess
Iowa
something
maybe
up.
something random.
Yeah, I had them losing to somebody. I know not Michigan. I know I have Michigan losing to USC.
Okay.
Because it's at USC. That was a good game last year. So.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so
I have USC at 8-4. I think they're like not this season, but next season they
They'll
may
be
be a
good.
Big Ten contender.
they'll be good.
Like straight up.
Like, I'm excited for them.
Like,
like-
in Lincoln Riley, as much as I'm
I'm
like
not
to
a
make fun
big
of him,
Lincoln Riley guy.
I
but-
think he does well with quarterbacks
Yeah.
and he recruits well. So like,
Miller Moss transferred, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
They have Mavia, is that his name? I think it's something like that.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Jaden Mavia. I
Yeah.
could be saying your name
I
wrong.
think
Sorry,
they could be good.
Jaden. But no, he looked really good.
I think they'd be really good.
I saw him destroy A&M, so
Yeah. I
He-
mean,
he looks like a good
Yeah.
quarterback.
so
Oh wait, my conference championship.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, I have Oregon 11-1 beating Penn State.
see,
11-1.
I can't be mad about that.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it's respectable because like I also have them both at 11-1.
Yeah, you could like.
Yeah. I'm sad that we got cheated off of Oregon Ohio State this year. That
Yeah,
would have been great.
it would have been a great
But
game.
low key, Oregon at Penn State, that entire week of football.
And
is
you
gonna be
have
great.
Alabama, Georgia. I'm gonna like start elevating.
How did they manage this? Anyways,
There was one other good game. I think it was like Ole Miss LSU or something like that.
probably.
It was something random that was really good too.
All right, now time for our pride and joy. Like I hate to say it, but yeah, I do SEC bias. Like I
Mhm.
hate like that's gonna tarnish my reputation. But
I
it's
have
just how it
SEC
is.
bias because they've just been the best. So,
So,
like it's not bias. It's
My
just that.
SEC is kind of fine.
Okay, what do we
let's
do
do
with SEC?
Let's do top 8
Top
because
8.
I think that's like where my cutoff is.
Okay,
you ready?
my cutoff's at 10,
Okay, you ready?
but I'll do top 8.
Tennessee 9-3,
Okay.
Ole Miss 9-3, South Carolina 9-3.
Okay.
See, now I'm about to say something that's going to make a lot of people mad,
Okay.
but this is a part of my insane take. I think Texas is going to be number 5 at 10-2,
Okay.
6-2. Alabama 10-2, 6-2. Florida 10-2, 6-2.
Okay. Your top two.
LSU 10-2,
You're a big LSU
7-1.
guy.
Georgia 11-1, 7-1.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and preface this now whenever I get into it more. This is not a discredit to Texas. I think Texas is a great program, and like I fully expect to not be happy
Yeah.
on November 28th.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be fun.
I think Texas, yes, they're going to be great. I think they are 1 year away from being one of the best college football teams we're ever going to see.
Ooh, you're big on that.
I can get more into this here in a second whenever I choose the playoffs for you, but that's just going to preface that. Texas is only returning like 30% of their starters.
Yeah, no, 3 on offense, 6 on defense.
They're going to return like 80% of their starters in 2026. And teams that do that,
no, they win.
They win, especially with their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like who's going to
be good?
I'm going to get more into it whenever we actually start picking and with the Heisman. Texas will be good. I just think they have a few rough games that are going to expose their lack of whatever.
Yeah.
And like inexperience, even though, like a lot of them are experienced guys, but they're also going to be starting a lot of new people. And I think because of that, they mess up 2 games. But those 2 games are still going to be respectable games. Like you're not going to be like, oh, they lost to Kentucky. No, it's going to be like, oh yeah. Like I understand if they lose there. They're both away games. It makes sense. But yeah, I think I got Georgia and LSU. Georgia 11-1, LSU 10-2.
Okay, who's winning?
I got Georgia.
Okay,
Give me the Georgia Bulldogs to win the title.
I think everyone's sleeping on Georgia this year. Like we're not like you in the past.
I am not sleeping on
Everyone
Georgia.
would talk about Georgia. Georgia's a scary team. Now everyone's just like saying nothing about them. I think they're gonna be motivated. I think they're gonna do pretty good. Is what I'm gonna say. Is all I'm gonna say. They're gonna do pretty good.
Give me your SEC. I want to hear this.
Okay. So we got at number 8, Tennessee 8-4, number 7, LSU 9-3, number 6, South Carolina 9-3, number 5, Auburn 10-2.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Number 4, Texas 10-2, number 3, Florida 10-2, number 2, Alabama 10-2, and number 1, Georgia 11-1. All those 10-2 teams are tied with 6-2. Tiebreakers got Alabama, so we got an Alabama-Georgia not national championship, SEC championship.
Do you have Bama losing to Georgia and Auburn?
No. I have them losing to Georgia and South Carolina.
There.
That's what got the tiebreakers. So I have Alabama, Georgia, SEC, and we got Alabama winning the SEC championship.
I'm not mad at that. Like I think Alabama's really good.
Alabama has 14 returning starters.
Yeah.
And they've been recruiting at the same level. Like, the level hasn't dipped off.
Oh, yeah.
With Nick Saban gone.
All right. So now we have our 4 conference titles. Literally for group of 5, I directly put them at number 12. I'm prefacing that now.
I did the same
Group
thing.
of 5 is number 12, and I literally wrote in Go5. Go 5.
Go 5 too. I do not care.
We are not getting a repeat of Boise State. We're not. I mean, Tulane. I think Tulane's going to be good.
I think Memphis can be
Boise
good.
State. I think Memphis. There's like 6 or 7 teams, and I'm like, yeah, they could do
low
it.
key, what San Diego State? No. UNLV. That's not
put
enough.
so what I put is group of 5, and then in parentheses 11-2 or 12-1, because that's what you got to be to make it.
I didn't put anything.
I can see like a 10-3, but either way, it doesn't matter because the number 5 seed is just going to schwack them. So
okay, wait. How do we want to do this? Do we want to go back and forth?
I say we go first 4 out. Okay. What if I want to make this fun?
Let's start first 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because I feel like those are pretty obvious.
And then
in the championships.
I think we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think we do 16, 15, and then 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is gonna be so confusing.
And then
I love
14, 13, or no, 14, and then 8, 9, and then 8 and 9.
I like that.
And then
10, 11.
I think
10, 11, 13.
We all know what 11 and 12 are. Let's be honest with ourselves. Do you not have a Big 12 champ?
Don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry.
Okay,
we do not know.
So how about this? How about we say? Never mind. I don't know where we're going.
Okay, let's start top 4. Let's go 1 through 4. I think it's gonna be real quick. We don't really need explanation for these teams. I'll go my top 4. I got Oregon 1. They won the Big 10. I love Dante Moore.
Let me write this down as you're saying this.
I'll give you some time.
Okay.
I love Dante Moore. They did really good in the transfer portal. They're recruiting great. Number 1. Number 2, Alabama. 14 returning starters. A ton on defense. I think their defense is going to be insane. Let me see how many on defense. I'm going to pull it up. They have 8 returning on defense.
Oh, that's insane.
Which is insane. They also have 2 really good receivers returning. 3 linemen. And Ty Simpson.
Comes down to Ty Simpson, man.
I believe in him. I like
Comes
him.
down to Ty Simpson.
I don't like him as much as like Dante Moore or DJ Lagway.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be like an Alabama quarterback of old, where he's like just solid, similar to Will Howard. I think he's gonna be solid, good, makes the right decisions. I don't
Like
know
a Mac Jones.
like a Mac Jones type. I think like Loki, he's like the next Mac Jones.
Oh, ooh.
That's what I think Ty Simpson's gonna be.
Give me your 3.
3 is Georgia. They were runner-ups. They were 11-1 going to SEC championship, and then number 4, Penn State.
All right.
So, because my Big 12 or ACC champions did not have a lot of wins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's nice is we have straight seed now, so like you don't got to worry about this. Okay, you ready for mine?
Yeah. Let me get yours going.
I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over so I have it in front of me. You ready?
Yeah.
Number 1's Georgia. I think Georgia. Hold on, let me pull up this other sheet too, because I have a lot more info on this other sheet. Okay. Let me pull it out. Guys, I'm struggling with papers over here.
We took so many notes.
Yeah.
Probably unnecessary. No, it wasn't unnecessary.
Okay.
We're locked in.
So this is what I got. So I got Georgia at 1. What's actually really funny is like I took forever to like figure out the rankings on this.
Mm-hmm.
I went all the way back to week 13 to figure out the rankings on this.
Dang.
Because like think about it. Week 13 in mine, I have Clemson at 11-0 and number 1.
Oh, so they're
I think they lose to South Carolina, an 8-3 South Carolina. And so it like just blows up the ranks. This is also why I have Ohio State at 3 and not higher. Ohio State's going to lose to Michigan.
I have the same thing happening. Straight up.
Michigan's going to be like bought out of the playoffs or out of the top 15
Yeah.
and beat Ohio State. And it's just going to be like, I don't know what to do now. So anyways, Georgia's 1. They're returning 7. They're bringing in 7 transfers. I think that's huge.
Yeah.
I think Gunnar Stockton's a good QB.
Yeah, he's gonna be
They still
like
beat
solid.
Texas. Still beat Texas.
Mhm.
And that's huge. And like I don't like the fact that everyone's discrediting Georgia. Georgia had a bad season and went 11-2.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, Georgia has a bad season and wins the SEC.
Yeah, and they recruit at such a good level.
It's insane.
Like, they're chilling. They're gonna do great.
They also had some really good wide receivers come in from the transfer portal.
They also have a good. Who's the running back? That I forgot his name.
Hold on, I have it right here in front of me.
There's a running.
Nate Frazier.
Yeah, people are high on him. Like really,
He'll be
high.
good.
And
He'll be
looked, like he played a little bit last
He'll be
season. He
good.
looked good.
Number 2, I have Clemson.
Okay.
My ACC champ, 12-1.
Yeah.
Would be 13-0 if they didn't lose to South Carolina, but they're going to lose to South Carolina.
And Louisville and Georgia Tech.
Sure. My biggest thing is like I think Cade Klubnik's that guy.
Yeah. No,
I remember watching him in high
Cade.
school. I remember watching him like early, and like I just think he's going to be a good quarterback.
He's always been good, but not great. Like
Yeah.
I watch him, like yeah, he's a good quarterback, but I never like believe in him to take a team to the next level.
I think my biggest thing about Clemson is they're returning 4 of their 5 offensive linemen.
Oh yeah, no, that's great.
And like they were young last year and were decent.
No,
and like they're
were
returning
good.
16 dudes. That's insane.
It's just like they weren't as good as I think
yeah,
people saw
And that makes sense.
and thought last
That makes
year.
sense.
But
Number 3, I have Ohio State.
okay,
Again, should be higher, but lost. Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is I think they're going to have a fun schedule. I think Ryan Day's a good coach.
no, he's a good coach.
I think he's a good coach. I mean, I think they have arguably 2 of the best non-quarterbacks in college football.
Oh yeah, Caleb Downs and
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith.
So, like, yeah, I think they're going to be good and get in there. 4 can be Penn State. I think Penn State's going to ride high off of their win over Oregon. That's what's going to push them high. And I think they're going to have a win over. Do they play Illinois this year? They don't. I think they're going to just be riding high.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, if their only loss is to Ohio State, if both of their losses, am I stupid? Yeah, I might be stupid. I put Ohio State and Penn State at 12-1, which is very wrong.
Yeah, Penn State's 11-2.
Yeah, Penn State's 11-2. So is Ohio State. No, they'd be 11-2. Yeah, in mine they'd be 11-2. Guys, I'm stupid. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, whatever. Yeah. So that's my 4: Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Penn State.
Okay. Let's go now. Do 16-15. Are we feeling good about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
My 16. Yeah, my 16's Miami, because they're 9-4.
Yeah.
They lost the ACC championship.
Hold on, let me.
And I think they'll have some good wins. They just have like Notre Dame on their schedule, Florida. I think they'll be a good team, but just not as good as some of the teams they'll be playing. I like Carson Beck a lot. I like the receivers they got.
They had some good transfers.
They had some good transfers. They were the number 5 transfer class this year.
It's pretty good.
I'm trying to remember who's there's a big receiver that they got.
Where's he from? Hold on.
I'm looking it up right now.
I don't have it.
Oh, they have CJ Daniels, which was from LSU. I think he's going to be good. They had, oh no, this guy transferred out. LOL.
Dang it.
They also I thought they had one other guy, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good. Like,
and they also recruited the O-line well and the secondary well in this, in the transfer portal. They've also been recruiting well. I think they'll be good.
It's just hard to get into the playoffs at 9-4.
Yeah, you're not getting into the
tough.
playoffs.
And you don't have the high quality win.
Yeah, you need that win over Florida or that win over Notre Dame.
Yeah,
and they don't have it.
Well.
And then number 15. Let's see. I have so many notes. But number 15 is Illinois at 10-2. So they're 10-2, great, but they have no wins. They have no good wins. And their only 2 chances to win against teams, which I think they play Ohio State and Michigan. They play 2 of those top teams. I don't remember which 2.
They play Ohio State and USC.
Okay. I had them losing to their 2 best teams they play. Yeah. So they just don't have any quality wins.
So I actually have Illinois at 16.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, I think they're going to be good. They're returning a lot of guys. I think their coach is good. I really like watching them playing the Cheez-It Bowl last year. And him and Beamer getting into a fight. That was hilarious.
We love it.
Anyways,
Brett Bielema hates the SEC.
I think Illinois is going to be a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they're a reincarnation of Indiana last year.
Yeah, and
just
this time,
remake. And I think the committee has learned.
Mm-hmm.
My number 15 is South Carolina. So
Mm.
this is what made it rough. Is doing my week 13 ranks. I had South Carolina pretty high or pretty low, but I was like, if you beat the number 1 team, you got to
raise. Yeah.
So yeah, I think South Carolina hits 15 at 9-3. So I mean, I think it's gonna be really fun. I know a lot of people who have South Carolina really high, and I agree. I think South Carolina's gonna be good, but I just don't think without what was it? Dylan Stewart. Dylan Stewart went to the draft. No, he's not. He's back. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, no, bro.
They lost a pretty big defensive guy. Yeah, and I think it's gonna kill them.
I forgot the other side. He's the other D.
I'm not saying I think South Carolina's gonna be good, but yeah, I don't think their playoffs good.
Okay, so let's go now to 5 through 8.
5 through 8.
Okay, I have some more reasoning for these teams. Okay,
yeah,
so
this is gonna be interesting.
Number 5, I have Florida at 10-2. They have easily the hardest schedule in the country, and so their 2 losses I have them is to LSU and Georgia, but that means they have wins over the likes of Miami, Texas, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Those level of wins is crazy. Yeah, what do you want to say? I want to hear.
I have Florida beating Georgia.
I thought about it for a little bit.
I'm going to explain Florida's second loss in my books here in a second. But
am I going to lose it?
You might.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, for Florida, I'm the biggest DJ Lagley fan in the world.
Yeah, I think DJ Lagley's a great quarterback. If he won the Heisman or got close, I'd be like, yeah.
No, I was 100%. watching his film, and I was like, I love this guy so much.
Great quarterback.
They have 13 returning starters. 4 of them are O linemen. 7 then are defense. And this defense, they were really bad to start the season, but the last 4 games, which were all against Power 4 opponents, 2 ranked, they only allowed 17 points at most in those games. Yeah. So they have a lot of returning. So yeah, I trust in them. DJ Lagway, good defense. They've been recruiting well. 7th recruiting 2025, 13th in 2024.
They'll be good. I'm excited for it.
So yeah, they'll be good. I have Texas at number 6.
Hey, me too, bro.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I have Texas. Their losses. Now, one of those losses is going to be kind of funny. Florida. They lose to Florida. And then they lose the next week to Oklahoma. I think it's time.
You think they're going to beat Georgia? Okay.
I think they're going to beat Georgia.
Okay, I'm actually not mad about this. I understand.
I think it's time for finally Oklahoma to win again the Red River rivalry. I think it's going to be wild. I think it's going to be crazy.
What record is Oklahoma going to have at that point?
Oklahoma's going to have... They lost to Auburn, so...
I could realistically see a 5-0 Oklahoma
It
going
could be.
into Red River.
It could be. I have them 4-1
could.
going in.
I actually have them 5-0 going into Red River.
Bro, that's gonna be crazy.
A 5-0 Oklahoma versus a 4-1 Texas.
Who do you have winning? Texas?
Texas.
Okay. Makes sense. But yeah, Texas, we've already talked a lot about them. I think they're on the edge of being insane, like insanely good.
There's only a few schools I hate. Oklahoma's one of them. I can't stand Oklahoma. Dude.
But Oklahoma, I don't really care about
I respect them though. Like I have to respect them. They're a good program.
Okay, number 7, I have 10-3 Clemson. Here's one thing I think this committee is gonna do. I know that's really high for a 10-3 team. I think despite there not being the conference championship things, I think they're gonna overvalue conference championships to push them. To push the automatic qualifiers. It's gonna be like it's gonna be more political thing than anything. They're gonna push like, look, Clemson is good, even though they're 10-3. And so I have them losing to LSU week 1. I have them losing to Georgia Tech on the road in Louisville. Obviously I know.
Do you think they're gonna lose at home to LSU?
Yeah. I think
And you only have LSU at 9-3 on the season?
I think the season's 1 gonna be whack.
Oh my
2,
gosh.
LSU has a hard schedule. And 3, I'm not that big of a fan of Clemson. I think they're gonna do really good because ACC is kind of weak, and they're gonna win the conference championship, so they're gonna get in. But I don't value them much besides that.
Oh, give me the number 8.
And then number 8, I have Kansas State. I know this is high, this is high for a Big 12, but the reason, once again, like I said before, I think there's gonna be pure chaos in the Big 12. They're gonna come out.
What are they? 11-2?
11-2. 11-2.
And you have them at the 8?
I get it. I would never put them at the 8, but the reason I put them there is I think they're gonna push the conference champions. Just watch.
You're gonna hate where I have Texas Tech then.
Or I already saw where you. I already saw. Okay, give me yours.
You
give me
ready
yours.
for my
give me yours.
5
give me yours.
through 8?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, number 5, I got Oregon.
Okay, that's totally fine.
I think Oregon would easily be a top 4 team, but they're gonna look at their schedule and be like, they've played squat diddly, dude.
Yeah, no, they play no one.
Like I think they play USC.
That's their hardest opponent besides Penn State.
And like but you have to respect the 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, and it's Oregon. So
yeah,
I think
they're gonna look good in all the wins.
I think I don't know. I'll get more into it here in a minute, but I think Oregon, they'll be good. I think they're gonna have a lot of hiccups along the way, but I think Dan Lanning, I think he's good.
Okay,
he's really good.
I mean, I think he's a top 3 coach.
Number 6, I have Texas.
Okay.
Losses to Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I think they're going to be really good. Again, I'm going to harp on that. I think they're going to be a really good football team.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think if this is a mistake I think they'll make, is they're going to beat Ohio State week 1. And they're going to get on their high horse.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to come into Florida. It's going to be a night game. And I think Florida's going to be rowdy.
Yeah, it's
Florida's going to be coming off a loss.
I can't wait for that game.
Florida's going to be coming off a loss to LSU, and they're going to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that game's going to get I'm excited for that week. That's going to be a good football game. And then I think with Georgia, I think Georgia's just Georgia.
Yeah,
and even though those are losses, those are still 2 insanely good losses. You lost in 2 of the hardest places to play in the nation. And I mean, you still make it through. You still hit the number 6 spot at 10-2.
Yeah.
And I still think you're going to make a deep run.
Yeah, you have a good path.
So now for my number 7. I fumbled and tossed and back and forth with this team, and I didn't want them in the playoffs.
But
Give
you
me
had to.
Notre Dame. Number 7, 11-1. Their only loss is going to be week 1 in Miami.
You have them losing to Miami.
Because this is what's going to happen. I think they're going to lose a close one to Miami, and I think they're going to be able to fix it in time and then beat A&M in week 3. I think the only way A&M beats them in week 2 is if they either beat the tar out of Miami or they get killed by Miami, which I don't think either of those is going to happen. Because if they beat Miami really badly, if Notre Dame beats Miami bad, then they're going to be excited. CJ Carr's going to think he has it figured out, and then A&M's going to come into town and be like, "Let's figure this out." And and CJ Carr's going to be like, "Oh my gosh," or they're going to barely beat Miami or barely lose to Miami, and they're going to take the entire week because they have a bye week,
which
week
is
crazy.
So
they're going to
awful.
take the entire week and they're going to figure it out, and A&M's going to come in, and I think they're just going to kill A&M.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think there's going to be a good team. I think they have the world's easiest schedule.
Oh, yeah,
they
it's
play
cheese.
They play 3 good teams.
It's
3.
cheese.
3. And so, I mean,
How do you have Stanford, Syracuse, Boston College, and Purdue on your schedule?
hate
That
it.
should not be allowed.
so
Straight up.
now time for my number 8. I have the Crimson Tide, Alabama,
Okay.
10-2. Who did I have them losing to? I have them losing to Georgia. And then I also have them losing to. Can you pull up Alabama's schedule, please?
Yeah. Loki and
I
LSU,
can't
maybe?
remember. No, I haven't beaten LSU.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I haven't beaten LSU. It might be South Carolina.
It could be. I have them losing to South Carolina,
Okay,
actually.
hold on. I have them losing.
They're at
to
South Carolina, Tennessee.
Georgia. Okay, pull up South Carolina schedule so I can make
Yeah.
sure I'm doing that right.
South Carolina schedule is not bad.
Yeah, okay. I have them losing to South Carolina.
Okay, I have them losing to South Carolina, too, actually.
Because it's at South Carolina.
Yeah, I think South
That's a big
Carolina,
game.
it's going to be rocking.
And I think it's just going to be a rough game for them. But I mean, 10-2 schedule or a 10-2 record, like you said, they're returning everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think DeBoer is a great coach. Like I think DeBoer is one of the top 5 coaches right now.
Yeah,
he's
no,
a mastermind.
People are kind of like, and also
And-
they're getting Ryan Grubb.
Yeah, they have, and also like they returned what 14?
14, 8 on
14.
defense, 6 on offense.
Like that's massive. And I mean, I think Ty Simpson's going to be a good quarterback. He's been in the
Mhm.
system forever. They're returning 4 of the 5 offensive linemen, I believe, or 3 of the 3 of the 5, and they brought in Cam Dewberry. I have my opinions, but I'm going to keep them to myself. But yeah, they brought in Cam Dewberry, which is like
That's
going to
something.
be good for them, and
Yeah.
like I think they're going to be a good football team. So yeah, that's the 8. There's our home field advantage right there at Oregon, at Texas, at Notre Dame, and at Alabama.
Okay.
So now we're doing the number 14.
Yeah, let's do number 14. For my number 14, I have LSU.
Dang, 9-3.
At 9-3.
Wow.
We have a lot of 9-3 SEC teams. The thing about LSU is I like them a lot, but I don't trust 2 people, and that's Nussmeier and that's Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I mean,
And so those are the 2 most
understand
important
that.
people.
It's after watching Nussmeier in person last year, and like I was building Nussmeier up to be like that guy.
Yeah, you thought
and then he came in.
spectacular.
He came in, and we were all like,
Loki's buns.
interesting. But I mean,
He threw 3 interceptions the second half against A&M.
He really
It was bad.
But yeah, I mean, I think a year of growing will help him a lot. I do.
Yeah. I think, like, just with the SEC, there's going to be so many 9-3 teams because they play
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Alabama, A&M, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Florida, Clemson. Like,
But I
that's
mean,
hard
think
to,
about it. They got Florida at home. They have South
I
Carolina
haven't
at
beaten
home.
Florida.
They have A&M at home. They have Arkansas at home.
Mhm.
They have all these games at home. Yeah, they got Clemson on the road. They got Ole Miss
Alabama
on the road. They got Alabama on the
Oklahoma
road.
on the road.
Yeah, those are like tough games at the same time.
No,
if they win the games, I think they're going to win. They're going to be
I could see them going 10-2, but I have them losing to Oklahoma on the road. I think that sinks their play. That's the last weekend. I think that sinks their playoff hopes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I think
that's
they're in the
understandable.
playoffs before that. So yeah, LSU at 14. What do you got?
Here is my bold take.
Okay.
I have 11-2 Miami at 14.
Ooh, that's kind of crazy. After going 11-1 the regular season.
Can you pull up their schedule, please?
I can pull up their schedule because if this is not a super easy schedule.
Just think about it. I have Miami beating Notre Dame.
They gotta win over Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's in your playoffs at 7.
But other than their win over Notre Dame,
Louisville will probably be
Louisville's
good.
not in the top 16.
That's true.
Other than those 2 wins,
No, there's not a lot on there.
and they have a loss to Florida
But
and to Clemson.
Notre Dame is in your playoffs.
Notre Dame is my playoffs because it's just Notre Dame.
But
Notre Dame gets in because it's Notre Dame.
I agree they
It's a
put Notre Dame
namesake.
over, but both of them were 11-1 the regular season. And Miami is the one that has the win over Notre Dame.
You'll understand why I have Miami out here in
Okay.
a second. And yeah, don't look at me like that
What
because
is
you know
it?
it's coming. Stop. No, don't
Okay,
look.
okay,
Don't look. Stop.
okay,
Stop
okay,
looking
okay.
at my sheet.
Okay, what are we doing next?
All right, now we have.
Do we do 9 and 10 now?
We
This is
both
whack.
have our 12 the same, right?
Yeah, we have our 12.
Okay.
GO5.
I think we do. Do you have all your auto bids in? I don't have my auto. I'm gonna go ahead and say my auto bid.
I have all my auto bids in.
Okay. You know what? Let's do. I think we need to do I don't know. I don't know how to do this
Yeah,
because
just put Texas Tech is number 11, right?
Texas Tech is number 11
Yeah.
for me, which is kind of insane because they're 12-1.
But they don't.
But
they didn't
here's
play anyone.
why. I mean, they're gonna be a top 12 team at the end of the season,
Mhm.
and I mean, all the teams that are above them make sense why they're
Yeah.
above them. So let's go ahead and do. How many spots do you have left?
I've
3.
I've
Or you have 2.
well in the playoff. I
Or
have
like,
3.
how many spots do you have left? 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which spots do you have open? 9, 10, and 11.
9, 10, and 11.
Okay, you do 9, 10, and 11, and I'll do 9 and 10.
Okay.
And then, or no. You do 9 and 10. I'll do 9, and then we'll do 13.
Okay, I like that. So my number 9. Let me get there. We got Auburn. Okay, I'm gonna give you some. Let me.
son.
Hey. Let me yap about Auburn for like a minute, and then you can yell at me. I think they're gonna have the best receiving core in the league with Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton.
I can't argue that, man.
They have 5 returning starters on defense. Not a lot, but there's 4 secondary members.
Okay.
And I think the most important returning on defense is secondary. Because I think you can get young D linemen and they can do good. I think you can get young linebackers, they can do good.
Okay.
Secondary, as we've seen at A&M, you got to have veterans who've been there, done that. Think about Desirix at A&M this year. He's a talented guy, but he's way too young. They've recruited like a top program over the past few years. Number 8 and 25, number 10 and 24. They have 4 returning O-line starters. That's big. They had the 6th ranked transfer class, and I think they really cooked with this transfer class. They filled a lot of holes on defense, a lot of holes on the defensive line. Very solid O-linemen, and they're as easy as you schedule as you can get in the SEC. Very easy schedule.
Okay. All right.
That's my yapping. Like,
Okay.
we already talked about the Auburn schedule, but they had the stretch of like Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri. You don't find that anywhere else. A&M and Oklahoma are not that scary. Their only 2 scary games, which is their 2 losses, is Georgia, Alabama.
Oh my gosh.
But they went 10-2 in the SEC.
I hate it,
They
but
get in.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I
and
can see it.
it all depends on Jackson Arnold and Peyton Thorne. Thank the Lord he's gone. But you know what Peyton Thorne struggled with? Turnovers and inconsistency. You know what Jackson Arnold struggles with? Turnovers. So that scares me a lot.
Oh god.
So I'm putting a lot of hope in you, Jackson. I hope you're watching. Please be good. Please just don't fumble the ball. So yeah, they're my number 9, and then you want my number 10 too?
Yeah, go for number 10.
Ohio State. We talked about
Still
this.
in. Yeah.
They're still in because we'll talk about some of the teams that are out, but already some of the teams that are out, like Illinois. Even though Illinois has 1 more win, they just have
Ohio
has
State is
better
the head-to-head.
wins. Head-to-head. They also have like their losses are technically better in
Yeah.
Texas, Michigan, and once again their defense. Matt Patricia, not believing him, not believing Julian Sand.
Do I know who your number 11 is?
Please, no, just don't go to yours. Don't think about it. Do not think.
Time for my number 9.
Do not think you heard about
I'm
it.
gonna throw up whenever I say this. Time for my number 9. 10-2 Michigan. So here's why.
Let me breathe in.
Michigan's gonna have 2 losses. They're gonna lose to Oklahoma.
Okay.
In Oklahoma.
Okay.
Right? So Michigan will start as a top 25 team. Can you pull up Michigan's schedule, please, so I can get this right? I need to get this right.
Let me find this.
They open up. They go to Oklahoma week 2, right?
It's week 3.
Okay. This is what's gonna happen.
Let's see what's happening. Oh no, it's week 3, but
okay,
it's their
can you-
second
can you
game.
scroll down all the way.
Yeah.
Please?
Oh,
Good lord,
yeah.
son.
Scrolling
Okay,
down to the ads here.
So they're gonna be a top 25 team to start the season. They
Okay.
always are.
mm-hmm.
So even if they're like, let's say they're 20, 21, reasonable, makes sense.
Yeah.
They are gonna lose to a ranked Oklahoma,
Okay.
and they're gonna drop out of top 25, right?
Yeah.
They beat Central Michigan. They beat Nebraska. They beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right? Probably going to peak back into the 25 just because they're 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 22 or let's say 24. Lose to a ranked USC. Right? Drop back out. Beat Washington. Beat Michigan State. Beat Purdue. Beat Northwestern. Beat Maryland.
Okay.
That is a 9-2 team. That team is ranked top 20. A 9-2 team then beats a 1-loss top 5
Okay.
Ohio State, makes the playoffs.
I could see that with that win. I get that now. I get it now.
I think Underwood is going to be a good quarterback. And he makes me excited for the next coming years because if he's good now, how is he going to be in the
he's
future
gonna be
years? So I mean, they returned
five
a ton of dudes.
5 on defense, 8 on offense.
That's a lot, dude.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I didn't even notice that.
They
That's
returned
pretty big.
12 people. It's a lot. Is it 12? Maybe. Anyways, and they have a good transfer class.
Mm-hmm.
Good transfer class. I think they're going to be good. And I hate that. I hate that.
No, I hate it
You
too.
know I do.
I hate it too.
But I mean, that's just how I think it is. All right.
Okay, I completely messed up my thing just a little bit.
Okay.
How I had my top 20s, I didn't have the group in 5 included. So push down Miami. Miami's 17, Illinois 16, LSU's 14.
You mean 15?
Yeah.
Okay, who's your 14?
Wait, so no. 16's Illinois.
Okay.
15's LSU.
Okay, who's your 14?
14's Notre Dame at 10-2.
Okay, who's your 13?
And then our 13, we haven't talked about 13 yet.
No, this is it right now.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, this is it right now.
I have South Carolina.
9-3 South Carolina.
9-3 South Carolina.
Okay.
And here's how they get eliminated. Let me pull up their schedule.
I think they lose to A&M.
That's kind of crazy. I do not think they lose to A&M.
It's going to be at A&M.
I think they lose both to LSU and they lose to Missouri.
Yeah, I can see it.
So they lose both of them. They start off kind of bad. 2 losses. They're around like 5-2 when they meet Alabama. Get a big win. They win 3 big games in a row. Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M. Now they're in the top 12. And then they lose to Clemson last week.
They're going to lose to LSU.
And this is an 8-3 Clemson.
They're going to lose to LSU, Ole Miss, and A&M.
Okay. I don't hate that either. I just replaced A&M with Missouri. I think it's going to take them some time because they're actually replacing a lot of starters.
Yeah.
And they're still young. They don't recruit the best. I think Lenore Sellers is great.
I think he's going to be really good.
But I just don't think he has enough around him. Yeah. Especially on the defensive end. And just talent in general. His receivers are
Yeah.
Like you have, what's his face? He's like a super tall, fast dude. I forgot his name.
He's a tight end, right?
It's not tight. He's a wide receiver, I think.
Oops.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The crowd knows what we're talking about.
All right.
So I have them 13. Who's your 13?
I'm going to throw up on the mic whenever I say this. 10-2 Florida. Here's why. I already said earlier, Florida's going to beat Georgia.
Dang.
That's a neutral site game. Go ahead and pull up the Florida schedule so you understand this whenever I tell you this.
I do not understand this immediately.
This is still going to be a decent team, probably top 25 team whenever they lose to this team. But I think it's going to be just enough to knock them out.
Okay. Do you think they lose to this team? Are you saying Florida State they're losing to, or what are they losing to?
Here, scroll down for me. Scroll down.
Yeah.
They're going to lose on November 15th to Ole Miss at Ole Miss.
Okay.
I think that's a game that Lane Kiffin just cooks up and just beats Florida as a revenge game.
Okay.
Because think about it.
Yeah.
That's how Florida got knocked out.
That'd be crazy.
That's how Florida got knocked, or Ole Miss got knocked out last year. That's how Florida's going to get knocked out this year. And I don't think there's anything that they can do. Because think about it.
Okay, so they're losing to Ole Miss and
So
LSU,
I have them going 4-1 after Texas.
Okay.
5-1 after A&M. They're going to be a top 10 team easily.
Yeah.
They're going to beat Mississippi State 6-1. They're going to beat Georgia 7-1. They're going to be top 5. And they're going to beat Kentucky, but then lose to a number 25 Ole Miss.
Yeah.
It's going to drop them.
Okay, here's my thing. I see what you're saying, but they're going to have wins over Miami, Texas, A&M, Georgia, and Tennessee. A Georgia team that you have
This is what I came down
11-1, a Texas team you have at 10-2, a Miami team you have at 11-1, and an A&M team who's good.
This is why I think they don't get in. Because I'm going to go ahead and play into my number 10.
Yeah.
This is why I don't think my Florida gets in. I think my LSU is going to take my number 10 spot, my final spot. Because here's why. This is the circle that we have in the SEC. Florida beats Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia beats Texas. Texas. Hold on. No, I did that circle wrong.
LOL.
Hold on. What is the circle?
The circle. I believe.
Okay. Anyways. What am I looking at, guys? Oh, here it is. Is this it? Alabama beats LSU.
Okay.
LSU beats Florida. Florida beats Texas.
Okay.
And all those teams lose to Georgia.
But no, you said Florida beat Georgia, right?
Yes.
That's the big thing. I think that Georgia win gets them in.
Yes.
That's the
While
number
yes,
one
that
team.
does get them in. At the same time, if it comes down to the last spot,
Yeah.
are you putting the SEC runner-up in that beat Florida?
Yeah.
Or Florida in that beat the SEC champion?
Okay.
What are you doing in that scenario?
I think you take out Alabama.
I think Alabama stays. Alabama has a win over the conference runner-up.
But who
And
has a win
Alabama's-
over the conference champion? Also win over 11-1 Miami.
I think
Texas.
Alabama would get it only because they get on a roll at the end of the season.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
Florida losing that close to the end of the season kills it.
I see that. I see you're coming. I just think having a win
It would
over
be-
14, 6, and 1.
There's gonna be
it's
an
so big.
I think there's gonna be a 10-2 SEC team that misses the playoffs that shouldn't miss the playoffs, and that's gonna be why they push the bill to expand the playoffs. Because here's the thing that I'm always going to say: there's always going to be one team that gets screwed.
Yeah.
Always. Put that in quotations because, like last year, exactly. South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, they
were
got
the one.
screwed out of it. The year before, Florida. No matter how big you make the playoffs, if there is a committee, there is always going to be a team that gets screwed out of it.
Yeah.
For example, let's say it's a 16-team playoff this year. 10-2 Georgia Tech and 10-2 Louisville still miss.
Yeah, and they think they should make it.
They're like those two
They're
teams
like, we
should
just went
make
10-2.
it. So, I mean, I think there's always going to be at least one team that gets screwed out of it. And, I mean, what it came down to me is I think as a committee member, personally, I would look at Florida. I think LSU gets in only because they are an SEC runner-up. I think that deserves them a spot at 10-3.
I get that.
Personally.
I get LSU over Florida. I just don't get Alabama over Florida or Michigan over Florida.
Let's look at a few resumes here. So let's say they're fighting for the 9 spot. Because I think LSU is going to be that 10 spot. Florida 10-2.
Yeah.
Michigan 10-2. Notre Dame 11-1.
I think Alabama fights with that
Two
too.
of the teams get in. One of the team. I think you could even add Texas into that.
Yeah, and guess who beat Texas? Florida.
And so did Georgia.
But Georgia's number 1.
But Texas also beat the number 3 team.
Yeah. Who did Alabama beat in this?
Alabama beat the number 10 team.
But that's the only team they beat out of this list.
Yeah, and they lost to the number 1, and then they lost to the number 15.
And then Florida beat the 14. They
Florida
beat the 6 and the 1.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's just better wins to me.
valuable wins, but at the same time,
The losses aren't any worse.
so are you going to kick out Alabama but not Michigan?
I kick out Michigan first. That's who I'd kick out first.
I don't know, man. I think beating the number 2, because I think Ohio State would be number 2.
Yeah.
Beating the number 2 team.
That's big time, but they don't have any other good wins. Like, what's their other good win?
Michigan?
Yeah.
Other than Ohio State?
Yeah.
They don't have one.
That's the thing. So
But
I
Michigan, I think, has a bias.
oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bias wise. I get it.
And I mean, personally, that's just how I think it is. I think that's how it falls. No matter what, whichever team I leave out shouldn't be left out.
Yeah.
Because if I leave Texas out, then you're like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Texas had a great year. They beat the number 3 team. Oh, if I leave Notre Dame out, well, that doesn't make sense. They had 11 wins, and it's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The SEC, they're going to bring a lot of last year into that. If I leave Alabama out, well, that doesn't make sense. They beat the number 10 team. If I leave out Michigan, well, that doesn't make sense. They beat the number 3 team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
I could see this happening just because
logically,
logically, I think Florida should be in. But I can see Alabama and Michigan bias.
Do you know
Florida
what
out.
would solve all of this? Not having a group of 5 team in the playoffs.
It would be sensational.
Because think about it. If we have who is your last spot? Is it Michigan?
Well, let's talk about the group 5. Then we'll get
Okay.
to my last spot.
If you drop that last spot and you put in Florida, I think Texas Tech would be the 12.
Yeah.
You put Florida at 11. That's insanely
A group
good
of 5
matchups.
should earn it. They
Yes.
should earn it.
Yes. Like I think Boise State last year. They earned
They
it.
would have made it
earned
last year.
it.
And that'll happen
Like-
sometimes, but sometimes it won't.
Why am I gonna let's say Boise State makes it again this year.
Yeah.
What are they gonna what's their greatest win? A loss to Notre Dame?
Yeah.
That was their greatest win last year, a loss to Oregon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, last year I think they deserved a top 12.
It's rough. Like I think I just don't agree with group of 5 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the inclusion even does for them.
Like quit making this Cinderella. Football's different from basketball. You're never gonna get a Cinderella.
yeah, they're just
You're
not. They're gonna lose
You're
every
not.
time, every single time.
just stupid. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Who's your last spot?
Nebraska.
I have to go use the bathroom.
Yeah, you
I low key have to go use the bathroom like really bad.
you should leave. Let me yap about Nebraska.
I'm gonna cry on the way down there, dude.
Okay, so my Nebraska take. It may not make too much sense, but one, I'm a big Matt Rule guy. Two, I like Dylan Raiola. I know he's like Patrick Mahomes Jr. He copies him in everything he does. But I saw a lot of potential from him last year. If I pull up his stats, I don't have them in front of me. But he did good. He struggled with inconsistency, but he was a good quarterback. And another thing about this Nebraska team is they have a cheese schedule. And when I say cheese schedule, I mean cheese schedule. Like, let's talk about this. Cincinnati, win. Akron, win. Houston Christian, win. I have them winning over Michigan. That's their big win. Michigan State win. Maryland win. Minnesota win. Northwestern win. USC win. So, dang it, bro. I guess I have them 9-0 starting off. So maybe they'll take a number one spot at some point in the rankings. And then I have them losing to UCLA. It's on the road. It's against my boy Nico. I think that could be a loss because I don't think they're a perfect team. And then a loss to Penn State. But yeah, I think they deserve it over South Carolina. Or they don't deserve it over South Carolina, but I think they get it over South Carolina because, once again, this is a political thing. They're going to want 4 Big Ten teams and 5 SEC teams. They don't want to do 6-3. It's going to make too many people mad. So I think Nebraska gets that nod over South Carolina at 13, over Notre Dame at 14, because I have Notre Dame losing 2 games. I have them losing 1 to A&M, and then their other loss is to a not very good. I forgot who I had them losing to, but it was a not very good team. Let me pull it up. I had them losing to Pitt, which I'm a big Pitt fan. But yeah, so Nebraska is my number 11. Okay, we're back now. Chris is back from the bathroom.
Word.
He thankfully didn't hear my Nebraska
Yeah,
yapping.
I just don't want to hear that.
You don't even need to hear it. They heard it. It all makes sense in my head.
Whack.
Somewhere.
Anyways.
Okay, to finish off the episode, we're gonna just go through our playoff.
Yeah, I mean, we're not.
scenarios,
I don't
pick
think
them
we need to
real
give
quick.
a ton of
No,
background on it.
I think just
So again,
pick.
My 12, Georgia 1, Clemson 2, Ohio State 3, Penn State 4, Oregon 5, Texas 6, Notre Dame 7, Alabama 8, Michigan 9, LSU 10, Texas Tech 11, Group of 5 12.
Okay. I'll go with my 12. We got number 1 Oregon, number 2 Alabama, number 3 Georgia, number 4 Penn State, number 5 Florida, number 6 Texas, number 7 Clemson, number 8 Kansas State, number 9 Auburn.
Whack.
Please Jackson. Number 10 Ohio State, and number 11 Nebraska. And for the record, I have Ohio State losing to Washington.
Say that again?
I have Ohio State losing to Washington.
Yeah, I don't know if I can be your friend anymore.
I'm a big Desmond Williams fan, and Washington's a hard place to play. I think this year's going to be whack. But do you want to pick 3 years first? Or
Yeah, all right. So this is what we got. Group of 5 playing at Oregon. Gosh, yeah, Oregon's going to win that one. Michigan playing at Alabama. What a game,
Okay, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice.
Low key, I can't wait to watch Michigan get dunked on. I think Michigan's going to walk in and see the red LEDs and just think it's the rapture, dude. Yeah, I got Alabama winning that game. See, I like this because this is like 3 really good first round matchups. We have Texas versus Texas Tech.
Oh, that's going to be
At
fun.
Texas.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be a fun game.
I can see Tech winning that just because of pure hatred.
I have Texas.
Okay.
But yeah, a reborn rivalry.
That's
Woo!
nice.
I think this is going to be the most fun game. LSU at Notre Dame.
Oh, you kind of not had a nice playoff.
I didn't
I'm not
mean
gonna
to.
lie.
I didn't
I'm
mean
not gonna
to.
lie.
It just kind of
Yours looks
happened this way.
good.
I think Notre Dame wins it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Brian Kelly versus Marcus Freeman. What a better way to have, like,
That's gonna
What
decide
a
which
game.
which coach is better almost.
yeah. So then our second round is going to be Oregon versus Penn State.
Okay.
I have Penn State winning that game. They won the head-to-head the first time at Penn State.
Dang, twice in a row.
I think that game. Oh, where's that game gonna be at? So what are the four? Here, Georgia's at the Sugar.
Georgia's gonna be the
Georgia at the Sugar. Clemson's at the Orange. Ohio State's at the Rose, and Penn State's at the Cotton.
Yeah.
So Penn
checks out.
State and Oregon and Dallas, low key, kind of funny, but I got Penn State. Georgia and Alabama rematch
Dang, bro. There's a lot of rematches going
in
on.
Louisiana. I got Georgia winning that one.
We'd be sick.
Texas and Ohio State at the Rose Bowl. Who could ask for a better setting, better game?
Dang, your playoff is low-key cooking right
Give me
now.
Texas again.
Okay.
3 rematches in the second round. 3. But all 3 are early rematches in the season. Notre Dame and Clemson at the Orange Bowl.
Okay.
Who could ask for, like, that is such a historic Orange Bowl.
Mhm.
I think Clemson wins that one. Then we're going to have Penn State, Georgia. Oh, let's see. Where are these games? The Fiesta Bowl and the Peach Bowl. Georgia, Penn State's going to be at the Peach Bowl. I think Georgia wins that one. Clemson versus Texas at the Fiesta Bowl. Again, historic matchup there.
Mhm.
I think Clemson wins it. And then I got Georgia versus Clemson in Miami. Is it in Miami? Miami Gardens? The Gardens?
I feel like it is.
Yeah, it's
Let's-
it's at Hard Rock. I know it's at Hard Rock. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey.
I can next time that we meet, I'm gonna go into more in depth about why I think each of these teams
Yeah.
could win it, but ultimately, I think Georgia's gonna win it. I am tired of the downplay on Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only a few coaches that have coached a national championship. Kirby's done back to back. That's like almost impossible. And I think Gunnar Stockton's gonna be a good quarterback. I think they're gonna be rough on the O-line. I think they're gonna be rough on the offense in general. But I don't think Georgia's gonna need that offense. I think Georgia's gonna build a Georgia defense, rely on that front seven like Kirby can build.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to win Georgia a national championship. I think Georgia versus Clemson is a great game. Like, that's going to be a defense versus offense game.
That's gonna be crazy.
That's going to be a
if that happens,
fun
that'd be
game.
fun.
But yeah, I mean, I think if I had to choose a third place team, I think Texas.
Okay.
Again, I think Texas is going to be a really good team. If they won the national championship, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't.
If
at
they
all.
did, we're cooked.
all.
We're cooked for the next
Oh.
all years of
Oh,
existence.
let me go ahead and finish my absolute boiling hot take.
do it.
So Texas is going to miss the SEC title game this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to miss the national title this year. Texas returns 80% of their starters next year. Texas will not only win the SEC title, Texas is going to win the national title at 16-0.
Oh dang, bro.
And I think Arch Manning's going to win the Heisman.
That would kill me.
That's all going to happen
That'd
in
kill
1 year.
me.
That's happening
That'd
in a
be-
year. Oh, you think it's going to kill you? I'm going to be a senior and I'm going to get to watch it
Oh yeah, at least
firsthand.
I'll just be.
Man,
I'll leave the country. I'll leave the
I'm
country.
excited to see my senior year of being an Aggie and like getting to watch games because I think there's gonna be some fun games. Man, I'm gonna dread that Friday night before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving because I'm gonna watch
50-0.
I'm gonna watch 11-0 walk into town and beat the tar out
and just
of
like
us.
the whole team was big.
Like we could go 11-0 and it wouldn't matter. We're still gonna get the poop
Yeah.
beat out of us. We could go back to back weeks. Doesn't matter. I think Texas is gonna be elite next year. Like
Mm-hmm.
I will say in almost every single thing, unless they suck this year, which is not happening. I will say in almost every single prediction, Texas is winning it, no doubt in my mind. I think this year they're still gonna be a good team. I think they're gonna get close. Man, I think a lot of people are gonna be upset with Sark for making it to the semifinals again, which I think is stupid because I think making it to the semifinals in this weather, crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think Texas is 1 year away from being a top 5 team all time.
Yeah.
And like again, I'm not saying Texas is not going to be good this year. I'm
No,
not
they
saying
made it
that.
to the semifinals.
I am in the semifinals, and I think they're
That's
going to be.
good.
I think they just they have an interesting schedule, and I think
And they just
again,
there's-
inexperience is going to hurt them.
yeah.
I think Archie's going to be a great quarterback. I just think
Everyone's new on offense. Literally everyone.
Everyone runs into a tough road.
Yeah.
And going to Gainesville and Sanford in the
That's-
same season.
That's hard.
It's rough, man.
Yeah.
And if you win both those games, hats off. Hats off to you, man. It would not surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I think.
Okay.
Let's see. Who do you got here?
One thing about Georgia,
Yeah.
and I think this is about all, the champion this year is going to have these three things, because I was looking at it, and these are the three things champions like have in this new era, is one, they have consistent top 10 recruiting. Georgia checks that off. They have the best recruiting, especially O-line. Like, you got to have a good O-line. Second, I was looking, returning starters is so key. Ohio State, 2024 champion, had 15. Michigan, when they won, 15. Georgia, when they won 2022, 10. And Georgia, when they won 21, 14. So those are some of the most essential things to have is returning starters, consistent top 10 recruiting, and then also they were fine through the portal. Like, we see what Ohio State did, what Penn State did, what Alabama did, is they only got like 9 people out of the portal. But they're all like really good big players. Like for Ohio State, they got the Purdue tight end, they got the Rice offensive tackle.
Yeah. I just think I got confidence in Georgia.
And Georgia meets all those boxes.
Like, I think
except
Georgia,
the returning
I
starters.
think Georgia's becoming the new Alabama. I think they're the dynasty. Like, it's a few years ago, it's so easy to say, I just think Alabama's going to win it. I think it's so easy to say, I think Georgia's going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
They're a default for me at this point.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't have Georgia winning is just because they don't have the returning starters.
Yeah.
But here's my playoff. We got Kansas State, number 8 versus number 9 Auburn. I have Auburn winning that. We got number 5 Florida versus the G5 Florida. Don't even care about that game.
Yeah.
Number 6 Texas versus number 11 Nebraska. That's kind of be fun. It's like an old rivalry. I think Texas wins easily.
Dude,
though.
Texas is going to mop the floor with Nebraska.
But it's gonna be a fun storyline, and people will be like, "Yay!" My playoff actually sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It gets a little better. Number 7 Clemson versus number 10 Ohio State. That's gonna be fun.
That's a fun game.
I have Ohio State winning that. I think Ohio State starts to figure things out. They're just a talented team. They slip up a couple of times in the season. They're talented though. Second round.
Who'd you have between Kansas State and Auburn?
I had Auburn winning.
Understandable.
We got number 1 Oregon, number 9 Auburn. We have Oregon winning that one. I'm big on Oregon. I'm big on Dante Moore. We got number 4 Penn State versus number 5 Florida. That's going to be a fun game. I
wish Penn State goes to Florida.
I have Florida winning. Straight up. I have Florida winning.
All right.
DJ Lagway, apologist. Number 3 Georgia versus number 6 Texas. This is a rematch. Texas won the first time. It's hard to beat a great team twice. I have Georgia winning that. Number 2 Alabama versus number 10 Ohio State. Going to be a great game.
Oh, that's a good game.
I have number 2 Alabama winning, but very close. And then semifinals, I have Oregon versus Florida, and then Georgia versus Alabama. Oregon, Florida, I have Florida winning.
Oh my gosh.
I have Florida going to the national championship.
Whoa.
That's how big of a DJ Lagway fan I am.
I'm not that high on Billy Napier. I'm not.
I get the Billy Napier hate.
Oh my gosh.
But the thing about DJ Lagway, I was watching his film earlier. Bro, the way he keeps his eyes down the field while scrambling, the way he can fit the ball between defenders, it reminds me of CJ Stroud. But it's CJ Stroud with maybe even a stronger arm. And who can scramble way better than
Dude,
CJ
he's also
Stroud.
freaking huge.
I know. He's huge.
He's huge.
Like, I think he's a CJ Stroud who has a stronger arm who can scramble. That's what I just said it. That's what I said. So I have them getting to the championship. And I have Georgia versus Alabama. I have Alabama winning because just the amount of returners they have on defense is crazy good.
An Alabama-Florida national championship would feed families.
Would be the greatest thing ever.
That would feed families, dude. And it's in Florida?
And I have winning. I have Alabama winning.
If you said Florida, I would
winning.
punch you in the face right now.
My
gosh.
The one thing about Florida, I don't know about Billy Napier, and their defense is good, but it's just not going to compare to Alabama's.
Dude, I like if
So I have
Bama
Alabama.
wins it this year. I have this in my notes here, but when we talk about it at another time, Bama's X factor is literally black magic.
They're gonna pull. They're gonna pull a Kansas City Chiefs.
They're gonna pull a Pacers, dude.
Pacers. Pascal Siakam looking up.
They're gonna turn the camera over, and Kalen DeBoer's gonna be like summoning in a demon. Oh my god!
You guys see Ty Simpson doing the Pascal Siakam, and then in the final game,
No. Dude, Ryan Williams is gonna be like levitating in the locker room. They're gonna be like breaking news or like leaked footage of the Alabama locker room.
But you know,
oh my god!
You know, on the kickoff of the national championship game, Ryan Williams is just gonna like bust his Achilles just like Tyrese Halliburton did if they do that. That's the cost you gotta pay.
Oh my gosh!
And the cost the Kansas City Chiefs had to pay was having Taylor Swift attached to their team. That was the cost they had to pay.
I could see a remake of the 2020 Alabama team. I really can.
I can too.
So this is why I'm high on LSU.
Yeah.
I am not, for all my LSU friends out there, I am not comparing 2019
Yeah, don't do that.
to this team. I'm not saying they're the same team. 2019 will always be the better team in my opinion.
They'll always be the better team, period, in all of college football history.
But this LSU team is doing a lot of the same things that LSU team did.
That is true.
They're returning a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's all going to come down to Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm. And I
I have LSU losing round 1, but I have them in the SEC title. I think they have a fun schedule. Like I think they're gonna be cool. I've had this. I guess you can make this a bold prediction. The winner of LSU Clemson will win their conference.
So you have Clemson winning.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, if LSU beats Clemson week 1,
that's what I have, bro. Well, the hype will be the highest you've ever
seen. If the LSU beats Clemson week 1 and then proceeds to beat Florida in 2 weeks,
goodness.
LSU's gonna be number 1.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be terrified. If they go to Bama
and beat
Bama,
I just may stop watching college football.
So I wanted to go to the game in Death Valley. Like the weekend was beautiful. It's gonna look great. But like, if I had tickets and we'd be like what 7-2,
yeah, something weird like that.
And LSU would be like 9-0. I would sell the tickets so fast.
We'd get popped. If you remember 57, that's what it was when it was 2019 LSU.
I still think we're gonna get popped.
But yeah, I think it'd be closer than if they were.
I think LSU and A&M's series back and forth demonstrates how good their home field advantage is.
Yeah, no, whoever's home wins.
Like it's been like that since 2011,
which is crazy.
It's like. They can't win. They can't win at a away game. If we beat LSU in LSU this year, I'll figure something out and I'll make a promise. Where if like we beat LSU in LSU this year, I'll do something crazy.
It's like I'll do something for if we beat Texas in Texas.
Like it's not gonna be like as crazy as that one guy from Florida State saying he'll eat dog poop.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be something like that. It's gonna be like I don't know. I'll go do something, and if we beat LSU and LSU this year.
Just like walk to Crockett or something like that.
Dude.
That's really far away.
That would be insane.
That's really far away.
I don't know. Like shave my legs or something.
That'd be crazy.
I'd shave my legs.
Shave everything. Just everything. Go complete monk mode.
I buzz cut again.
Victor wouldn't be on.
I buzz cut.
Buzz cut, but also beard gone. Everything gone.
Oh no. If I'm buzz cutting, I'm keeping.
Well,
okay, hold on.
That's doing something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. What? Okay. What if I buzz cut and keep the beard?
Okay.
That would be kind of crazy.
I would like it, but I think would be better. But I love the buzz cut beard combo. It's such a good combo.
That would be kind of goofy.
The bigger the beard is, the better that combo is.
Well, I mean, if I keep the beard, at that point in time, it would be mid-October, right?
Yeah.
So that's July, August, September. That's 3.5 months. If I don't trim at all,
okay.
It's probably gonna be pretty bushy.
It'll be bushy.
Do I make this deal right now?
I'm fine with this deal.
Do I make this? Yeah, because it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, I mean,
if we beat LSU,
my hand is ready for this
in Death Valley. I'll buzz cut.
Okay, I agree to that.
Okay,
I'll agree to that.
Dadgummit, guys.
Bro, you know we're about to beat them. We're gonna be 0-9 or whatever going into it. And
because I'm praying on our downfall, we're gonna go like 12-0 now.
We're gonna be the Texas team we're talking about next year. We're gonna be 16-0. Marcel Reed's gonna be like the second coming of Johnny Manziel. And we're just gonna be like, what?
Dude, we're gonna beat Notre Dame like 40-0 week 3, and I'm just gonna be like,
you know, if that happens, like what would we do if that happens? Like I don't even know like the excitement and stupidity that would happen.
I'm skipping the BSM retreat.
Bro, I'm too.
I'm losing my job at the BSM.
Bro, it doesn't matter.
I am Skippy.
That's the deal. If we beat Notre Dame.
Dude, this season's gonna be so good. Like,
I'm
ready to see where things develop into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how people, especially like the Big Ten commissioner and the SEC commissioner, I don't know how you're gonna be able to like focus on developing a playoff while the season's going.
Yeah.
Because I would be awful at that. Like, because that's what they're going to be trying to do. Like, they're not going to be able to strike a deal. If they don't strike a deal by the end of the season, it cooks the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I think we'd sign a 14 team in, which would, I think 14 would be fun.
I like
but
14.
I think 16, because like, think about it. Well, I'll try to run through this quick. If we got a 16 team playoff and we go AQ format, right?
Yeah.
SEC title weekend, we're getting Florida versus South Carolina, and then Alabama versus Texas,
That's electric.
and then Georgia versus LSU. We're gonna get Oregon versus Minnesota,
Random.
and then Michigan versus Illinois. And I mean, I like 16 teams because then that gives the number 1 through number 4 team a home game.
Yeah.
Which, like, for example, you're gonna get to see.
I think you should have 2 home games, back-to-back home
So, like,
games.
let's say, for example, you're going to get to see Georgia. You're going to get to see Illinois play at Georgia.
That would
The
be
rapture
that
will
would
be
be-
happening.
that would be
mid-game.
whack.
You're going to
Illinois
see.
would just like crumble. Like they would just crumble. Like all their players would just like have heart attacks and
Dude,
die.
I want to see a home like LSU or Florida or Bama. I want to see a playoff home game so bad. Just
Mhm.
because of the light show. Like, it's just like you walk in and it's just deafening.
It's immediate seizure. You're just like,
I would say A&M, but we
don't do light show. 'Cause
We don't do light
'cause
shows.
We dumb. We stupid.
We have all the money in the world, but we can't figure out how to do
Yeah.
a light show.
Or we can't figure out how to get football players either. That's weird. But
yeah.
we said we were not going to focus on A&M.
Yeah, we need to. We have so much more content that we can go over.
Yeah, we like plan so much more. We've already gone like 2.5 hours.
we're like 2 hours, dude.
Yeah, we kind of we've been a little long, but
I mean, might cut this one up,
yeah, we'll see what happens. But it
We'll
just shows
see.
how good the season's gonna
dude.
be.
Like, it's been the first time I've seen Ethan in like 2 months.
Yeah,
So like, I haven't had the time to sit down and just yap about football. So you got to see
this was
you
big.
got to see a yap sesh here,
Yeah, and we heard each other's most vile takes.
dude.
of all
I
time.
got more vile takes. I mean, we got. I say I got at least 6 hours of content I could.
Oh
bust
no,
out
we
here.
no, we could do this. I have so many notes in.
I
There.
mean, it is 11:30 right now. I'm hungry.
Bro, I'm so hungry.
If you haven't been to Whataburger,
No, we're
yet-
going to Taco
hold on,
Bell.
let me explain Whataburger right now.
Okay.
They have these cup things at Whataburger.
Actually, I want those cups.
They're $4.30, and I got it on Tuesday, and I've already refilled it like 20 times. Greatest investment ever. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm gonna
the
go
paint is
get
kind
that.
of chipping on it, but yeah.
Who cares? It's you get the free
Shout
drinks.
out there.
So yeah, go take advantage of Whataburger
well.
right now. Bye bye.
Ah.